Tonight, we're exploring the secret history of every Pokémon gym, from their ancient origins to the hidden roles they play in guarding the world. This is a fascinating topic, but I'll keep my narration calm to ensure you can still drift off to sleep. Thank you to those of you who've been joining us consistently. If you're falling asleep with us tonight, let me know in the comments how many nights in a row you've been here. And if this is your first night, just comment night 1. Now back to the video. Think about the first time you stepped into a Pokémon gym. You likely saw it as a simple milestone, a hurdle to clear on your way to the Elite Four. But have you ever wondered why these structures exist in the first place? Why is it that in almost every corner of the known world, from the snowy peaks of Sinnoh to the tropical islands of Alola, humanity has collectively decided to build these massive, specialized fortresses? If they were merely for sport, they would be stadiums. If they were merely for education, they would be schools. Instead, they are something much more complex. They are the thin line between civilization and the overwhelming power of the natural and supernatural world. When we look back through the fog of history, past the neon lights of modern-day Saffron City and the high-tech mechanisms of Lumiose, we find a world that was once defined by chaos. We find a world where the boundary between humans and the legendary forces of nature was thin and often violent. In those ancient days, there were no Pokeballs to contain the lightning or the tides. There were only people trying to survive in the shadow of giants. The gym system did not begin with a rulebook or a league commission. It began as a necessity for survival. These locations were chosen not for their proximity to shopping malls, but because they sat atop ley lines, guarded ancient artifacts, or served as the first line of defense against the very legendary Pokémon that shaped the continents. Every gym leader you face is carrying a weight that the average trainer never sees. They aren't just masters of a specific type, they are the appointed guardians of their respective regions. When Team Rocket moved to seize the Sylph Company, when Team Galactic attempted to rewrite the laws of physics at Spear Pillar, and when the very fabric of time and space began to fray in the Hisui region, it was the leaders of these gyms who stood at the front. They are the wardens of the Safari Zone, the keepers of the ancient towers, and the protectors of the towns they call home. They guard secrets that have been passed down through generations, secrets about the true nature of the Pokémon they train and the land they walk upon. Tonight, we are going to peel back the layers of these institutions. We will look at why a ninja clan would choose to settle in Fuchsia City and what they are truly keeping contained within the Safari Zone. We will investigate the charred remains of the Brass Tower in Ecruteak and how the local gym serves as a perpetual vigil for the return of the legendary birds of Johto. We will travel to the volcanic shores of Cinnabar Island to see what happens when a gym is lost to the earth itself. And we will uncover the forgotten lore of the beta regions, the gyms that almost were, and the leaders who were erased from history before the first journey ever began. The stakes of this journey are higher than a simple badge. To understand the gyms is to understand the fragile piece of the Pokémon world. It is to understand how humanity learned to live alongside creatures that can breathe fire, summon blizzards, and manipulate the mind. It is a story of ancient pacts, failed experiments, and the quiet, steadfast duty of the men and women who wear the title of leader. Why was the Viridian gym left empty for so long, and what darkness was allowed to fester in that silence? What is the true purpose of the puzzles and traps that fill these halls? Are they meant to test the trainer, or are they meant to keep something else from getting out? As we move from the Kanto region through the distant reaches of Paldea, we will find that the history of the gyms is the history of the world itself. We will see how the discovery of Mega Evolution, Z-moves, and the terrestrial phenomenon changed the way these bastions were built and defended. We will look at the unofficial gyms, the failed challenges, and the legends that have become intertwined with the very walls of these buildings. It is a long journey, spanning thousands of years and countless battles. So, settle in, let the sounds of the Pokémon world surround you, and let us begin our walk through the halls of history, uncovering the truth behind every badge and the secrets guarded by every leader. Long before the gleaming stadiums of the Pokémon League echoed with cheers, the land we now call a Sinnoh was a wild frontier known as Hisui, a place of unrelenting chaos where humans scratched out survival amid Pokémon that struck without warning. Villages huddled behind fragile palisades, and every dawn brought the risk of raids from massive beasts or spectral apparitions born from the land's own fury. This was no ordered world of badges and circuits. It was raw existence, where the line between ally and predator blurred in the endless, snow-swept valleys and jagged peaks. Clans formed out of necessity, binding together under chieftains who commanded respect through sheer will and the loyalty of their Pokémon partners. These weren't trainers in the modern sense. No Pokéballs tamed the wild hearts here. Instead, bonds were forged in blood and ritual, with warriors riding into battle atop alpha Pokémon, those colossal guardians whose roars could shatter mountains. The air hung heavy with the scent of pine resin and smouldering campfires as scouts whispered of distortions in the sky, rifts where time itself unravelled, spitting out shadows that devoured entire herds. At the heart of this turmoil stood the wardens, one from each ancient clan, chosen not for birthright alone, but for their unbreakable affinity with the land's noble Pokémon. Picture them, cloaked figures etched by wind and frost, standing vigil over sacred sites. The Diamond Clan's warden communed with the icy lords of the Highlands, channeling their glacial wrath to shield Pearl diving folk from avalanches. The Pearl Clan's counterpart drew from the obsidian depths, summoning tempests to repel invaders from coastal holds. These wardens weren't rulers, they were bulwarks. Their lives a ceaseless patrol against the noble Pokemon's rampages, behemoths like the hissing Avalugg or the thunderous Electrode, whose tempers flared without provocation. Yet even they couldn't stem the tide forever. Whispers spread of a greater threat, a merchant named Volo, whose ambition cracked the veil between worlds, summoning Giratina's distortion and nearly unravelling creation itself. Arceus descended in judgment, a blinding cascade of plates reshaping reality, but the scars lingered. Pokémon, once revered as divine emissaries, became harbingers of dread. Humans barricaded themselves, arming with spears and prayers, their fear hardening into isolation. Clans warred over scarce resources, and the once sacred bonds frayed under survival's weight. From this crucible emerged the transition from the lawless Hisui region to the structured Pokémon League of modern Sinnoh, a painstaking evolution born of exhaustion and fragile hope. Centuries passed in uneasy truce as the Diamond and Pearl clans merged into a singular Sinnoh people, their wardens adapting to a new era. No longer did they merely contain noble fury. They began to channel it, teaching younger warriors the art of measured confrontation. What started as desperate skirmishes against rampaging beasts transformed into deliberate tests, rituals where a challenger faced a warden's chosen Pokémon under the watchful gaze of the clan. These encounters weren't about conquest, they were about proof. Could a human stand firm, read the Pokémon's intent, and emerge stronger without needless slaughter? The warden's enclaves, perched on cliff sides or nestled in geothermal vents, became proving grounds. Victors earned not trinkets, but the clan's trust, a mark etched in bone or stone, granting passage through contested territories. Losers returned humbled, their fear tempered into respect. Word spread beyond clan borders, drawing wanderers who sought the same validation. This is how the ancient clan's wardens evolved into the first localized gym leaders to maintain order, their solitary vigils expanding into formalized halls where battles ritualized the chaos of old Hisui. In the shadow of Mount Coronet, the first gym took shape, a sturdy longhouse reinforced with slabs hewn from the mountain's heart, its interior lit by ever-burning braziers fueled by Heatmore flames. The inaugural leader a descendant of the Diamond Warden lineage, specialised in steel types, have their Pokémon echoing the unyielding resolve of Avalug's kin. Challengers entered through doors carved with friezes of noble beasts, the air thick with the metallic tang of grinding blades and the low hum of anticipation. Other gyms sprouted like resilient alpine blooms. In the coastal mists near Sandgem, a water-type bastion rose, led by a Pearl Warden's heir, who commanded the tides with Brussel packs and Luminian schools, guarding trade routes from submersed threats. Up in Snow Point's eternal drifts, an ice specialist held court in a temple of packed snow and quartz. Their Abamus now sentinels, warding off blizzards that swallowed caravans whole. These weren't mere arenas, they were anchors, stabilizing a region still haunted by spatial tears. Leaders convened in hidden councils beneath the earth, here sharing intelligence on lingering distortions, fissures where Palkia or Dialga's echoes stirred. But the true alchemy lay in the philosophical shift from fearing Pokémon to testing human potential through ritualized combat. In Hisui, Pokémon were forces of nature to appease or evade, their power a divine curse. Wardens quelled them with supplication, binding them through oaths whispered in ancient tongues. Now in these nascent gyms, humans stepped forward not as supplicants, but as equals in the dance of battle. A challenger faced a gym leader's team in choreographed fury, Frozelass weaving illusions across frosted floors, Magnezone unleashing electromagnetic barrages that lit the hall like captured lightning. Victory demanded intuition, strategy, adaptation, reading a Pokémon's feints, anticipating its primal drives, and turning raw power into symphony. This ritual cleansed the old terror. Pokémon, once omens of doom, became mirrors of the soul, revealing a trainer's limits and forging them anew. Badges emerged organically, not as coins, but as shards of noble regalia, a glacial crystal for ice mastery, a corroded anchor for water dominance. Earning 8 meant mastery over Sinnoh's wild heart, qualifying one for the league's summit at the plateau's edge, where leaders gathered to crown champions who could rally against greater perils. Word of these trials rippled outward, inspiring distant regions to mimic the model. Yet Sinnoh's gyms retained their primal edge, their leaders bearing the Warden's mantle, eternal sentinels against chaos. Even today, as Cynthia strides the League's halls, her Garchomp a thunderous echo of ancient alphas. You can trace the lineage back to those frostbitten outposts, and it all crystallized in one unyielding cornerstone, a bastion that set the template for every gym that followed. Up next in Chapter 2, the Pewter City Bastion reveals how that ancient foundation echoed across oceans, guarding secrets buried deeper than any mountain. From the ancient wardens of Hisui forging order into Sinnoh's league, the echoes of that stability rippled across oceans to Kanto, where rugged stone itself became the cornerstone of defense. Pewter City emerged not as a mere waypoint, but as the Pewter City Bastion, a fortress carved from the earth's unyielding spine, standing sentinel at the threshold of mysteries buried deeper than time. Nestled against the shadowed jaws of Mount Moon, Pewter City clings to veins of granite and quartz, its streets dusted with the fine grit of perpetual erosion. Here the air carries the faint metallic tang of exposed bedrock, and every building seems hewn from the mountain's own flank, as if the land refused to yield even an inch to human ambition. At its heart squats the gym, a monolithic structure of weathered boulders stacked like the vertebrae of some primordial beast, its walls etched with faint striations from ancient glaciers long melted into legend. Brock's lineage traces back through generations of these stonekeepers, their calloused hands more familiar with chisel and geodude than quill or coin. Long before the Pokémon League formalized its circuits, Brock's ancestors were chosen for a solemn charge, rooted in the cataclysmic upheavals that once shattered Kanto's crust. When seismic rifts clawed open Mount Moon's belly, unearthing chambers crystalline with fossilized remains dome fossils pulsing with the latent fire of Kabuto, helix spirals whispering of Ammonite's abyssal rebirth. The region trembled under opportunistic shadows. Raiders from forgotten clans, hungry for the power to resurrect these prehistoric titans, probed the tunnels, their lanterns flickering like predatory eyes in the damp dark. The elders of Kanto, drawing from Sinnoh's nascent warden traditions, tasked Brock's family with this vigil precisely because their affinity for rock types mirrored the mountain's indomitable core. Onyx coiled through the caverns like living rebar, reinforcing fractured walls. Graveler hurled boulders to seal illicit shafts. Brock's father and uncles patrolled with the steady rhythm of tectonic plates, their Pokémon attuned to the subtlest vibrations of intrusion. These fossilized secrets weren't mere relics. They held genetic echoes of Pokémon evolution predating Arceus's first dawn, capable of tipping balances if awakened by the wrong hands. Imagine Team Rocket's precursors meddling, birthing armies of revived behemoths to claim the surface world. Brock's kin became the human anchor, their gym the bastion's brow, ensuring Mount Moon's depths slumbered undisturbed. A vault where time's forgotten children rested under layers of limestone and lore. This guardianship etched itself into every facet of Pewter's identity, from the fossil museum's glass cases glowing under soft lantern light to the gym's arena, where challengers first taste the grind of perseverance, and at the rite's climax, the boulder badge gleams forth, forged from Pewter's native pewter-infused slate, veined with quartz that catches light like trapped starfire. Its geological significance runs profound, embodying unyielding endurance as rocks do across eons, subjected to crushing pressures, volcanic fury, and relentless erosion, yet emerging sharper, denser, eternal. Consider the stone's journey. Born in magma's inferno, deep within the mantle, cooled under impossible weights into basalt and gneiss, then sculpted by rivers, carving canyons over millennia. The boulder badge mirrors this alchemy, a sliver of Kanto's geology that withstands hammer strikes, acid rains, even the seismic throes of earthquake in battle. Trainers who claim it feel its weight not just in pocket but in spirit, a talisman against fragility, reminding that true strength accrues through layers of trial, much like the Badlands beyond Pewter, where wind-sculpted hoodoos defy collapse for ages untold. Brock awards it with a nod, his voice gravelly as tumbling scree, knowing it binds the bearer to the bastion's oath. Endure as the earth endures. Yet whispers from the cutting room floors of history reveal even grander designs for this bastion. In the earliest blueprints of Kanto's League, those beta scrolls etched before the game solidified, Pewter City wasn't the humble opener, but the final crucible before the Indigo Plateau's glory. Envision the pilgrimage reversed, challengers braving Viridian's shadows first, weaving through Misty's cascades and Surge's storms, only to crest at Pewter as the ultimate gauntlet. Brock's gym loomed then as the capstone, its arena expanded into a coliseum of cascading cliffs, where rock types commanded avalanches and landslides to test not just skill, but survival. This inversion stemmed from the developer's vision of escalating peril, mirroring real-world mountaineering ascents. Pewter as Everest, the summit demanding all prior conquests culminate in rock's merciless embrace. Artifacts from that era linger in code ghosts and prototype maps. An elongated badge quest placing Brock 8th, his Onyx roaring as gatekeeper to the League's elite. Though reshuffled to front-load the journey, easing new trainers into the fold, traces persist in the gym's architecture, oversized for its first status, and Brock's dialogue hinting at deeper vigils. This beta shadow elevates Pewter beyond starter turf. It was conceived as the League's last bastion, a geological gauntlet ensuring only the unbreakably enduring reached victory's peak. Through Brock's tenure, the bastion evolved, his siblings tending the gym while he scouted caves slick with moisture, echoes of Zubat wings fluttering like papery ghosts. Even as Team Rocket's tendrils snake toward Mount Moon's fossils in later crises, the family's watch held, onyx bridging chasms to thwart grunts mid-heist. The air in those depths grows thick with bat guano and mineral tang, headlamps carving golden cones through perpetual twilight, where Clefairy dances under moonstone glow, oblivious to the guardians above. Pewter's role rippled outward, inspiring Kanto's gym network as bulwarks against chaos, Blaine's sea-swept volcano, Giovanni's Terrarian empire, all echoing the bastion's primal stand. Trainers, emerging badge in hand, carry not just metal, but the mountain's pulse, a rhythm of slow, inexorable advance. As the rocky vales of Pewter part, deeper currents stir in the next chapter. Chapter 3. Cerulean's aquatic vale, where submerged enigmas beckon with a siren's whisper you won't want to miss. As the unyielding boulders of Pewter give way to flowing rivers, carving through Kanto's heartland, Cerulean City emerges like a sapphire hidden in mist-shrouded valleys. Here, the Cerulean Gym stands not just as a glittering pool of challenge, but as the veiled heart of aquatic guardianship, where the Misty family has woven their legacy into the very currents of the region. Nestled along the northern waterways that snake from Cerulean's pristine cape toward the shadowy, unknown dungeon, this gym pulses with the rhythm of hidden tides. The sisters, Misty, Daisy, Violet and Lily, perform their synchronized water ballets for crowds of eager trainers, their Starmie and Goldine slicing through illuminated pools under spotlights that dance like bioluminescent plankton. Yet beneath the cheers and splashes lies a far quieter purpose, one passed down through generations of the Misty lineage, who have always felt the pull of the deep. Long before the Pokémon League formalized its badge quests, Kanto's northern rivers and inlets teemed with life, fragile ecosystems where Corsola reefs sheltered rare Phoebus, and the elusive Clampole guarded pearls of forgotten lore. The Cerulean Gym serves as a front for ecological preservation of Kanto's northern waterways, a deliberate facade of spectacle masking vigilant stewardship. And trainers flock here for battles, their focus drawn to the surface spectacles, while Misty's family patrols the unseen depths, charting water quality, diverting industrial runoff from Cerulean Cape, and ensuring invasive species like grime or sludge don't choke the vital arteries feeding into the sea. These efforts extend to the fog-veiled marshes, where Wingull flocks signal shifting salinities, and the family deploys Pokémon, like Lapras, to gently relocate disrupted herds of crabby, maintaining a balance that has kept Kanto's fisheries thriving for centuries. Picture the moonlit vigils. Misty, cloaked in a wetsuit etched with family crests, dives alongside her Psyduck into submerged grottos, sampling currents laced with minerals from ancient seabeds. Her sisters coordinate from the gym's upper decks, using seeking to stir sediment samples, their data logs hidden in waterproof scrolls disguised as performance props. This preservation isn't mere environmentalism, it's a bulwark against the chaos that legendary disturbances could unleash, where unchecked pollution might summon furious Gyarados from polluted bays or weaken the barriers, holding back abyssal forces. Deeper still, in the labyrinthine embrace of Cerulean Cave, the Misty family's secret duty to monitor the Cerulean Cave and the Mewtwo anomaly unfolds like a shadow beneath the waves. This yawning chasm, sealed behind illusory mists and accessible only to the 8th Badge Elite, harbours echoes of humanity's gravest hubris. Born from the clandestine labs of the Pokémon Mansion on Cinnabar, Mewtwo, the genetic apex, it forged from Mew's essence in a storm of amber vials and electric surges, fled into these depths after its cataclysmic awakening. The cave's twisting aquifers, glowing with phosphorescent algae, became its sanctuary, a psychic tempest raging within walls veined with quartz that amplify telekinetic ripples. The Misties were chosen for this watch, not by league decree, but by ancestral pact, their bloodline attuned to water's whispers. Generations before Misty's sisters twirled in the spotlight, their forebears navigated these caves with Luminian lanterns, charting Mewtwo's psychic flares, bursts that warp local magnetism, summoning unintended swarms of Abra or fracturing underwater spires. Today, the family deploys a rotating cadre. Daisy scouts with her ethereal Vaporeon, sensing distortions in the flow, or Violet logs anomalies via encrypted hydropumps that double as data streams. Lily reinforces barriers with bubble beam veils, while Misty confronts the core, her Gyarados a loyal sentinel against any psychic backlash. Reports filter to Shadowed League contacts, ensuring Mewtwo's exile remains undisturbed, lest its rage flood Kanto's lowlands in vengeful torrents. These duties bind to an even older thread, one shimmering in the Cascade Badge itself, the hidden connection between the Cascade Badge and the ancient seafaring tribes of Kanto. Millennia ago, before the League's badges gleamed in steel and enamel, Kanto's coasts birthed nomadic clans who braved typhoon-lashed seas in longships carved from lapras shells. These seafaring tribes, masters of tidal charts and monsoon prophecies, forged the first Cascade tokens from abalone iridescence and relicanth scales, badges that granted safe passage through whirlpool gates guarded by wrathful Lugia kin. Elders etched them with wave runes, symbols of fluid mastery, worn by chieftains who communed with the deep via ritual dives, allying with Kingdra herds to harvest storm pearls. As tribes settled, intermarrying with inland folk, these badges evolved into the gym's emblem, a cascading torrent evoking not just water's power, but the covenant of stewardship. The Misty family, direct descendants of these mariners, inherited the badge's true weight. Each awarded cascade gleams with embedded lore, a microcosm of tribal oaths to protect the waterways from overreach, whether from greedy fleets or modern labs, birthing anomalies like Mewtwo. In the gym's heart, amid bubbling fountains and echoing splashes, victors clasp this badge unaware of its lineage. The same talisman that once parted furious maelstroms, now veiling the family's ceaseless vigil. Whispers persist of tribal relics deeper in the cave. A submerged shrine where ancient hydrokinesis scrolls hum with residual power, occasionally stirring Mewtwo's meditations into visions of oceanic Armageddon. This aquatic veil drapes Cerulean in deceptive tranquility. The gym's lights a beacon drawing eyes from the shadows below. Yet as electric currents begin to hum along Kanto's eastern shores, we turn to Vermilion's lightning wall, where surges of Thunderguard secrets that could light up the entire region's hidden grid, as the northern waterways of Cerulean give way to the salty tang of Vermilion's harbour, where Misty's family keeps vigilant watch over hidden anomalies like Mewtwo. The coastline hardens into a fortress of steel and storm. Here stands Vermilion Gym, known in whispers as the Lightning Wall, a monolithic barrier not just against challengers, but against the tempests of history itself. Its walls, reinforced with conductive alloys that gleam under perpetual thunderheads, channel raw electricity into a shield that has repelled more than mere Pokémon battles. Lieutenant Surge, the gym's unyielding commander, didn't rise to this post by accident. A battle-hardened veteran from a shadowy conflict etched into Kanto's collective memory. He traded battlefield fatigues for the electric blue uniform of a gym leader after years commanding electric-type squadrons in the fray. Surge's military background runs deep. He served in elite shock troops, where his Raichu and Electrode turned the tide of engagements with precision strikes that lit up the night. But Vermilion Gym itself bears the scars of his era. Constructed as a defensive bunker during the height of that turmoil, dig beneath its tiled floors and you'll find layered bunkers, blast doors camouflaged as trainer platforms, and generators humming with wartime surplus. Built to withstand sieges, its architecture echoes coastal fortifications from Kanto's past, with lightning rods disguised as badge podiums that could power anti-air defenses in an instant. Surge transformed this relic into a gym, training challengers amid the echo of distant drills, ensuring every spark of battle hones the next generation's resolve. What Surge guards, though, stretches back further than his service record. Into the enigma of the Pokémon War, a cataclysm half forgotten in official annals, but pulsing through the veins of Kanto's power grid. Decades before the League formalized, when human factions clashed over resource-rich territories, wild electric Pokémon rampaged unchecked, their storms blacking out entire cities and frying supply lines. The war wasn't just trainer against trainer, it pitted armies against thunderous herds of Electabuzz and Zapdos flocks that weaponized gales. In response, electric-type gyms like Vermilions emerged as linchpins, their bunkers retrofitted with massive Pokédex-linked capacitors. Surge's facility, at the heart of it, funneled gigawatts from tamed Pokémon to the region, keeping Vermilion's port lights blazing for evacuation ships, powering force fields around key depots, and even jump-starting the AN's engines during blackouts. Other electric bastions followed suit, a network stretching to Johto's Olivine, where Jasmine's magnet core stabilized shipping lanes, and even echoes in Hoen's Moville, where Watson's subways doubled as evacuation tunnels. These gyms didn't just generate power, they were the grid's beating heart, their leaders sworn to oaths that outlasted treaties, ensuring no blackout ever plunged Kanto into chaos again. The air inside the lightning wall still carries that wartime charge, ozone sharp as gunpowder, floors vibrating with the low growl of contained Voltorb. Trainers step onto electrified arenas where tiles shift like minefields, forcing dodges that mimic Surge's old maneuvers. He barks orders in a voice gravelly from shouting over artillery, his eyes scanning for weakness as Pikachu zips like shrapnel. Yet beneath the bravado lies a solemn duty. The gym's deepest chamber houses a relic dynamo, etched with faded insignias from the war's end, still syncing with regional substations to prevent surges that could summon rogue thunderstorms. Challengers earn more than victory here. They inherit a legacy of light held against the dark. That legacy culminates in the Thunder Badge itself, a disc of polished bronze suspended by twin lightning bolts, a deliberate echo of Kanto's Military Medal of Merit, awarded to those whose valor powered through the impossible. In the Pokémon War's aftermath, as peace treaties were signed under flickering emergency lamps, the League commissioned badges to honor the Electric Vanguard. Surge himself approved the design, drawing from his own chest ribbon. The medal's central thunderbolt mirrors the badge's core, symbolizing strikes that pierced enemy lines, while the encircling bolts represent the unbreakable circuit of allied gyms. Earning it isn't just about beating Surge's electrode barrage, it's a quiet induction into that meritocracy, a metal vow to safeguard the power that binds Kanto. Veterans like him pin it proudly, a reminder that true strength surges from shared circuits, not solitary sparks. Vermilion's hum fades eastward now, toward the verdant sprawl where scents of blooming peril mask deeper intrigues. What fortress blooms amid Celadon's fragrant haze, guarding aromas that could unravel minds or summon spectral guardians? That story waits just ahead, as the crackling energy from Lieutenant Surge's Vermilion bunker lit up Kanto's expanding grid, fueling factories and streetlights that pushed deeper into the wilds. Celadon City bloomed into a glittering jewel, but amid that concrete tide rose a fortress unlike any other, veiled in perpetual mist and the heady perfume of ancient blooms. Celadon's gym, whispered about as the Fragrant Fortress, wasn't built to harness storms or repel invaders with sheer force. No, it anchored nature's quiet rebellion, a living greenhouse where the air itself hummed with secrets drawn from the earth. Step inside and the world shifts. Towering panes of warped glass filter sunlight into rainbows that dance across dew-kissed leaves. Vines thicker than your arm coil around marble pillars etched with floral runes, their petals unfurling in synchronized waves as if breathing with the challengers who enter. The scent hits first, a layered symphony, sharp citrus from Bellisom's nectar, earthy musk from Executor's fronds, and something deeper, almost forgotten, like rain on moss after a century of silence. This isn't just a battle hall, it's a vault for essences that Celadon's founders knew could heal or harm, preserved against the grind of progress. Erica emerged from this haze, not as a warrior forged in war, but as a guardian steeped in the old ways. Her family traced their lineage to Kanto's early herbalists, those who wandered the untamed fringes before cities clawed them back. She took up her role as keeper of traditional botany, tending heirloom strains of oddish and bellsprout that no lab could replicate. Each grass type under her care released scents tied to forgotten rituals, pheromones that soothed rampaging beasts or lured pollinators from miles away. Erica spent nights distilling these rarities, capturing vapors in fragile vials that glowed faintly under moonlight. One whiff of her Tangella's silken aroma could calm a stampeding herd, while the elusive spice from a Viloom petal mended wounds no potion touched. She guarded these not for battle prowess alone, but to ensure Kanto never lost the wild heart that birthed its Pokémon bonds. Yet the fragrant fortress hid layers beneath its floral canopy. As Celadon's department store soared and avenues widened, swallowing meadows and thickets, waves of Pokémon fled the bulldozers. Exiled oddish clusters burrowed into storm drains. Feral parasects swarmed abandoned lots, their spores choking the air. Erica saw the exodus early. A gym transformed overnight into a sanctuary, its lower chambers a labyrinth of humid grottos where displaced creatures found refuge. Hidden vents funneled fresh air from the city's edge, while illusory mists cloaked entrances from prying eyes. Here a weary Venusaur nursed wounds from habitat raids, its bulbs pulsing with reclaimed vigor. Chikorita from distant Johto, smuggled in by sympathetic trainers, nestled among the ferns, their leaf capes blending seamlessly. Erica's attendants, clad in leaf-woven robes, monitored migrations, replanting captured essences to mimic lost homes. This hidden purpose turned the gym into Kanto's unspoken arc, shielding the displaced from urban sprawl that threatened to erase their kind. Battles above served as the perfect veil. Challengers focused on the spectacle of petal dance whirlwinds and sleep-powdered drifts, oblivious to the rustles below. Erica's strategies wove deception from nature itself, her victory bell luring foes into scented traps, while sanctuary dwellers eavesdropped from the shadows. Word spread in hushed trainer circles. Win her badge and you glimpsed paradise. Lose and you'd wake with pollen-dusted dreams of forests untrammeled. Her gym echoed the ancient packs of Hisui, where wardens first balanced human ambition with Pokémon wildness. But here it countered the modern scourge of unchecked growth. At the heart of these defenses gleamed the rainbow badge, no mere trinket, but a relic forged from ingenuity and light. Long before Erica, botanists puzzled over Gloom's dual paths, how sunlight twisted its bulb into Bellasom's festive crown rather than Vileplume's toxic bloom. They crafted the badge as a prism, cut from rare crystal mined near Cerulean caves, refracting beams to mimic dawn's first rays. Held aloft, it split light into spectral bands, each hue coaxing evolutionary responses in captive gloom. Trainers watched as violets spurred petal growth, oranges ignited fragrant bursts. Erica inherited this tool, using it to calibrate her sanctuary's lighting, ensuring exiles evolved in harmony with their new haven. Earning it meant proving you understood light's subtle dance, the badge's facets etching your palm with prismatic warmth. A promise to respect the balance it revealed, deeper lore whispers of crises it weathered. When Team Rocket's fumes wilted outskirts groves, Erica's scents rallied wild allies, turning the sanctuary into a verdant army. Leaders from Pewter to Fuchsia sent displaced charges her way, Broxonyx shedding rocky hides for leafy rebirths under her care. The fragrant fortress stood firm, its mists parting only for the worthy, while Celadon's lights flickered on oblivious. This gym didn't conquer, it endured, root by root, scent by scent, a fragrant bulwark where Kanto's soul took breath. Those prismatic secrets lead us straight into Chapter 6, the psychic spire of Saffron, where minds bend realities and a towering enigma guards. thoughts no fortress of vines could contain. What illusions await in that glowing pinnacle? Stay with me to uncover it all. As urban sprawl pushed Erica's fragrant haven in Celadon to shelter Pokémon uprooted from encroaching cities, Kanto's true metropolis rose just beyond. Saffron City, a labyrinth of steel and glass, where the air itself seems to whisper secrets. At its core stands the Psychic Gym, a towering spire of sleek obsidian and glowing amethyst panels that pierces the skyline like a needle threading the fabric of reality. This isn't just another training hall, it's the nerve center of Saffron, pulsing with an otherworldly energy that locals call Sylph, an ethereal force said to emanate from the city's depths, binding minds and bending fates. Long before Sabrina claimed her throne there, Saffron simmered with rivalry. The Fighting Dojo, a squat fortress of weathered stone and sweat-soaked mats just blocks away, had long dominated the city's martial soul. Its masters, descendants of ancient brawlers who tamed wild mat chop in the surrounding plains, trained fighters who could shatter boulders with bare fists and Pokémon strikes. They saw themselves as Saffron's unbreakable guardians, their scrolls of combat wisdom passed down through generations. But ambition brewed in the shadows. Whispers of psychic prodigies, children born with eyes that pierced illusions, challenged that iron grip. The schism erupted violently, a brutal clash for regional dominance that scarred the streets. Picture the chaos. Dojo warriors charging with blazing fists, their Primeape and Hitmonlee roaring in fury, only to halt mid-stride as invisible barriers crushed their momentum. Psychic adepts, cloaked in shimmering auras, levitated debris into deadly projectiles, turning alleyways into battlegrounds. Fights spilled from dojos to rooftops, where telekinetic storms hurled fighters skyward. The violence peaked in a legendary showdown at Saffron's Central Plaza, where the dojo's grandmaster unleashed a Machamp frenzy against a cadre of Alakazam. But the psychic's edge was foresight. Glimpses of strikes before they landed, dodges woven from premonitions. One by one, the fighters fell, their dojo reduced to a humbled relic. From those ashes, Sabrina's gym ascended, claiming supremacy and reshaping Saffron into a psychic stronghold. Sabrina herself emerged as the schism's dark phoenix. Born with powers that eclipsed even her rivals, she could unravel thoughts like tangled threads, her Kadabra evolving into the fearsome Alakazam that mirrored her genius. Yet her true gift was precognition, visions flickering like distant lightning across time's veil. Trainers entering her gym don't just battle. They step into a warped funhouse of mirrors and spoons bent by sheer will, their strategies foreseen and dismantled before the first move. She sits enthroned in a chamber of floating crystals, her gaze turning challengers to stone. Literally, in tales of petrified foes revived only by her whim. Saffron's elite bowed to her, and the spire rose higher, its beacon drawing psychic talents from across Kanto. That precognitive prowess proved invaluable when shadows lengthened over the city. Team Rocket, ever opportunistic, eyed Saffron's riches, particularly the sprawling Sylph Corporation headquarters, a gleaming complex churning out Pokeballs infused with that mysterious Sylph energy. Rockets infiltrated under cover of night, their schemes to seize production and weaponize the tech. But Sabrina's gym became an unbreachable sentinel. Her visions pierced their plots. Glimpses of black-clad operatives slinking through vents, Raticate scouts probing defenses, even Giovanni's gloved hand signing orders. Alerts rippled outward. Psychic pulses warning other gym leaders, coordinating ambushes that left rocket grunts teleported into holding cells before they could strike. The gym acted as Kanto's early warning system. Sabrina's mind a radar sweeping for criminal intent, turning Saffron into a fortress where rockets met their match in the unseen. At the heart of it all lies the Marsh Badge. No mere trinket but a conduit to Saffron's supernatural Sylph energy, shaped like a warped golden leaf veined with psychic glow. It hums faintly in your palm, syncing with the wearer's aura. Lore ties it to the city's underbelly, where ancient ley lines converge, currents of raw psychic force bubbling from forgotten ruins beneath Sylph Co. The badge doesn't just prove victory, it channels Sylph, granting obedience to high-level Pokémon and shielding the bearer from mental incursions. Whispered legends claim early bearers used it to commune with spectral Mr. Mime swarms haunting the subways or to navigate the copycat's illusory mazes. In crises, it amplifies collective psychic shields, as when leaders rallied during Rocket's siege, their badges linking into a citywide barrier that repelled invasions. Deeper still, Sylph energy hints at Saffron's primordial roots. Geologists speak of quartz veins laced with unknown minerals, vibrating at frequencies that resonate with psychic brains. Pokémon like Abra flock here instinctively, drawn to meditate in the spire's shadow. Sabrina's challengers often report dreams post-battle, visions of a pre-human era when vast psychic entities shaped the land, their essence lingering in the badge's core. Even Sylph Co.'s tech owes its edge to this. Pokeballs that capture essences flawlessly, rumoured to harness Sylph for perfect containment. The gym guards these flows, lest unchecked power warp minds en masse, birthing an army of feral psychics. Through it all, the psychic spire endures, a silent overseer amid Saffron's bustle. Trainers climb its endless stairs, spoons twisting in their grasp, only to emerge changed, attuned to the hum beneath reality. The schism's echoes linger in the dojo's quiet halls, a reminder that power shifts like sand, and as Team Rocket's threats recede into memory, Sabrina's watch continues, her eyes ever on the horizon. But shadows stir elsewhere in Kanto, where ancient ninjutsu conceals deadlier legacies. In our next chapter, Fuchsia's Shadow Legacy, we'll uncover the venomous undercurrents guarding the wild heart of the South. Secrets that could poison everything you thought you knew. As Sabrina's psychic gaze pierced the veil of impending threats from Team Rocket, turning her Saffron Gym into an unblinking sentinel over Kanto's heartland, different kind of vigilance stirred in the humid shadows of the south. Fuchsia City, nestled where tangled marshes meet untamed wilderness, housed a gym forged not from stone or steel, but from the fluid grace of ancient ninjutsu. Here, Koga's lineage of ninjutsu and the gym's role in patrolling the Safari Zone borders stand as Kanto's quietest, yet most lethal defense. A legacy whispered through generations of shadow walkers. Deep in Fuchsia's fog-shrouded outskirts, the Safari Zone sprawls like a living labyrinth, a vast preserve teeming with Pokémon drawn from every corner of the world. Rare beasts roam its grassy expanses and murky ponds, their instincts honed by isolation, but always on the edge of chaos. Without constant oversight, these creatures could surge forth in blind fury, trampling villages and flooding the mainland with primal fury. Koga, the Fuchsia Gym leader, descends from a clan of ninjas who first answered that call centuries ago, their footsteps silent as falling leaves on the damp earth. Picture the moonless nights when Koga's ancestors melted into the underbrush, cloaked in black silk that blended with the night. They weren't mere trainers, they were guardians of the veil, slipping past thorny barriers to monitor the zone's restless herds. Venomous serpents like Arbok and Venonat served as their eyes in the dark, their hoods flaring at the first tremor of unrest. The gym itself, a deceptively humble tower amid Fuchsia's vibrant markets, doubles as a command post, its hidden chambers lined with maps etched in invisible ink, revealing patrol routes that snake along the borders like veins of poison. These ninjas mastered arts forgotten by most of Kanto, techniques blending human cunning with Pokémon synergy. One such secret, passed down only to the worthy, involves the subtle orchestration of pheromones from poison types, like coughing and wheezing. By releasing controlled clouds of noxious gas at key choke points, they create invisible walls that soothe agitated herds, turning potential stampedes into docile drifts back into the zone's heart. Imagine the acrid tang in the air, a faint violet haze that calms Tauros mid-charge or lulls a rampaging Raiden into slumber, all without a single battle cry. These secret techniques passed down to prevent wild Pokémon stampedes into the mainland have saved Fuchsia countless times. their efficacy proven in the hush after near disasters. When the ground still quivers but the threat recedes, Koga himself embodies this shadowed heritage, his lithe form darting through training dojos where smoke bombs burst like fleeting dreams. He rose from humble patrols to Elite Four status, yet never abandoned his post, training challengers in the art of precision strikes amid the gym's trap-filled floors. Poison types thrive under his command, not as weapons of brute force, but as extensions of the soul. Their toxins a metaphor for the delicate balance ninjas maintain. This bond finds its pinnacle in the Soul Badge, awarded only to those who prove they can harmonize with these elusive allies. Why does the Soul Badge represent the spiritual bond between a master and their poison-type tools? Etched with a stylized venom sac, it gleams like a drop of midnight dew, symbolizing the invisible tether that links trainer and Pokémon in perfect, perilous unity. In ninja lore, poison isn't mere destruction. It's life's quiet alchemist, transforming chaos into control. Earning it demands more than victory. It requires attuning to the subtle pulses of your partner's essence, feeling the venom's flow as your own breath. Challengers who falter sense it first, a creeping doubt, like toxin in the veins, until they surrender to the rhythm. Those who succeed carry the badge as a reminder that true mastery whispers, never roars, echoing the ninja's creed of harmony amid hidden dangers. Fuchsia's guardians have faced more than stampedes. Whispers persist of ancient pacts with ghostly Marowak, haunting the zone's fringes, their bones rattling warnings of deeper incursions. Koga's clan once repelled a rocket scouting party under moonlight, their wheezing clouds masking lethal strikes, reserving the wilds from exploitation. Even in quieter eras, the gym patrols endure, shurikens tipped with muck slime ready for any breach. This shadow legacy ensures Kanto's southern flank remains secure, a testament to vigilance born of blood and mist. As Fuchsia's ninjas fade back into the foliage, their work unseen but eternal, our journey through Kanto's hidden strongholds draws toward a cauldron of fire and rebirth. Next, in Chapter 8, Cinnabar's volcanic vigil, uncover how a gym rose from ashes within a slumbering mountain, guarding secrets that could reshape the earth itself. What cataclysmic force demanded such a fiery watch? As Koga's ninjas melt back into the tangled borders of the Safari Zone, safeguarding the mainland from rampaging herds, our path turns southward across Kanto's shimmering seas to Cinnabar Island, where the earth itself breathes fire and a lone Narguardian riddles challenges amid the rumble of impending doom. Cinnabar rises from the ocean like a crown of molten fury, its namesake mineral staining the black sands red under perpetual twilight skies. Steam hisses from fissures, carrying the sharp tang of sulfur that clings to your clothes long after you've left. At its core towers a volcano, not dormant but alive, pulsing with heat that warps the air and turns distant waves to mirages. Here, Blaine presides over the 8th gym, a man whose riddles mask a mind sharper than any Arcanine's fang. Blaine isn't just a gym leader, he's a scientist first, his white coat often traded for battle attire, his laboratory tucked perilously close to the haunted birthplace of Mewtwo. That clandestine facility, carved into the island's underbelly decades ago, birthed the world's most tragic legend through forbidden genetic alchemy. Whispers persist of echoing screams from those sterile halls, where scientists played God with Pokémon essence, only to unleash a psychic storm that shattered minds and fled into the shadows of Cerulean cave far to the north. Blaine's dual life orbits this epicenter. By day, he pores over seismic charts and genetic samples in his seaside lab, monitoring the aftershocks of that creation, the raw power that could fracture reality. By night, or whenever a challenger braves the heat, he transforms the gym into a proving ground for fire types, his riddles veiling questions about thermal vents and unstable isotopes. This proximity isn't coincidence. Blaine chose this perch to watch the lab's ruins, ensuring no rogue experiment reignites. His Pokémon, Growlithe pups evolving under his gaze, Magmars forged in lava flows, serve as both battlers and sensors, their instincts attuned to the psychic residue that lingers like invisible ash. The original gym stood proudly on Cinnabar's shore, a sturdy edifice of reinforced stone and cooling pipes, where Blaine once quizzed trainers on Pokémon physiology amid trophy cases of charred fossils. It drew scholars and battlers alike, a beacon of intellect amid the island's primal rage. But catastrophe struck without mercy. A massive eruption, fueled perhaps by the island's volatile core or the unnatural energies from the nearby lab, swallowed the building whole. Flames roared skyward, molten rock cascading like a tidal wave, burying laboratories and living quarters under yards of glowing slag. Survivors spoke of the ground splitting open, swallowing equipment and releasing plumes of toxic gas that choked the air for weeks. Blaine, ever the pragmatist, barely escaped with his core team and a handful of data drives, his riddles turning grim as he evacuated the panicked populace. Desperation birthed reinvention. With the surface uninhabitable, Blaine delved into the volcano's heart, carving a new gym from a vast cavern network cooled by underground aquifers. Lava tubes became arenas, their walls glistening with obsidian veins that reflect the glow of torkoal shells and ponyta mains. The air hangs heavy with mineral steam, footsteps echoing off jagged ceilings where stalactites weep heated droplets. Challengers navigate twisting paths, lit by natural geothermal vents, solving Blaine's enigmas. What burns without flame, freezes without ice, to reach the central chamber. Here, amid pools of simmering magma ringed by safety barriers, battles unfold with the mountain groaning in sympathy. This relocation wasn't mere survival. It positioned Blaine deeper into the Earth's secrets, his new domain a fortress against seismic fury, an advantage to guard the Mewtwo site's buried horrors. Every volcano badge, earned in that sweltering crucible, carries a hidden weight. Forged from Cinnabar ore infused with rare minerals, it's more than a league qualifier. It's a literal key. Slot it into monitoring stations scattered across the southern islands, from the tropical atolls of the Sevi chain to the fault lines edging one island's icy peaks, and it activates seismic arrays. These networks, Blaine's lifelong project, track microtremors that herald eruptions or tsunamis, Pokémon-powered sensors relaying data through badges' crystalline cores. Challengers who claim it unwittingly join a vigilant chain, their travels amplifying readings back to Blaine's cavern console. In crises, like the quakes that once threatened Pallet Town or the undersea rifts stirring Kyoga's kin, these keys have averted disaster, buying time for evacuations and legendary interventions. Blaine's vigil extends beyond badges and battles. During Team Rocket's rampage, he rallied with Kanto's leaders, his intellect decoding Giovanni's earth-shaking plots, while his Pokémon scorched grunts in the volcano's depths. Manga tales depict him mentoring young scholars, his riddles unlocking forgotten Kabuto evolutions unearthed in ash layers. Even in quieter eras, he tends the island's hot springs, where weary travellers soak amid Vaporeon's mist, unaware their host calibrates devices to silence the mountain's wrath. The cavern gym pulses with this duality. Fire's chaos harnessed by science's calm, a riddle wrapped in flame. Yet Cinnabar's heat masks deeper fissures in Kanto's foundation, shadows cast by the one gym leader who commands them all. In Chapter 9, the Viridian conspiracy, we'll descend into that urban abyss, where power brokers and buried ambitions converge to threaten everything Blaine fights to protect. As the echoes of Blaine's volcanic rebirth fade into the salty sea winds of Cinnabar, our path turns northward through Kanto's verdant heartlands toward the sprawling city of Viridian, where the final gym stands like a shadowed throne at the region's edge. This is no ordinary battle hall. It's the nerve center of a conspiracy that nearly toppled the entire gym system from within. Viridian Gym squats amid the city's towering evergreens, its facade a deceptively modest structure of weathered stone and creeping ivy, blending into the forested outskirts as if rooted there since Kanto's earliest days. Walk its dim corridors, and you feel the earth itself pressing close, the air thick with the rumble of hidden tremors, and the scent of damp soil stirred by unseen claws. Trainers who challenge it speak of floors that shift like living plates. Walls etched with faint seismic maps, and an oppressive weight that tests not just your Pokémon, but your resolve to claim dominion over the land beneath your feet. Yet beneath this grounded facade lies a fractured origin, whispered in the game's earliest blueprints, in the beta versions of the original titles, crafted back in the late 1980s. Viridian wasn't the capstone gym, it was meant to be the first. Its leader, a towering figure named Yujiro, a beta-exclusive master whose silhouette loomed large, arms crossed in a pose that screamed unyielding authority. Developers envisioned him as the pinnacle of ground-type prowess, a colossus commanding earthquakes and sandstorms right from the outset, forcing new trainers to confront the raw power of the earth. Before venturing further, why scrap him? The mystery lingers like a buried fossil. Yujiro's design eerily mirrored the man who would later claim the gym, hinting at scrapped plans for a pure ground specialist whose battles would have reshaped the entire badge quest. Instead, his absence left Viridian leaderless at launch, a deliberate void that players puzzled over, wandering its empty halls until the true occupant revealed himself. That occupant was Giovanni, the Viridian gym leader, whose name alone sends chills through Kanto's lore. On the surface, he embodied the ideal. A stoic expert in ground types, his Rhyhorn and Nidoqueen shaking the arena with primordial fury. But peel back the layers, and you uncover the Viridian conspiracy, a meticulously woven plot where Giovanni subverted the gym system itself to create a recruitment hub for Team Rocket. Posing as a legitimate leader, he drew in ambitious trainers, luring them with the promise of elite battles and rare Pokémon. Those who impressed him didn't walk away with just a badge. They were quietly inducted into his criminal empire, vanishing into the shadows of Rocket hideouts scattered across the region. The gym's back rooms, disguised as training quarters, buzzed with hush deals, stolen Pokémon traded, loyalty oaths sworn under the flicker of lantern light, all while the official front hosted innocent challenges. Giovanni's masterstroke was the Earth Badge, that unassuming slab of metal etched with a jagged globe. To the untrained eye, it's merely the eighth and final proof of a trainer's worth, unlocking the Pokémon League's gates. But in the shadowed annals of Kanto's underworld, it symbolized total territorial control over the region, a declaration of Rocket's dominion. Each badge he awarded wasn't a gift, it was a brand, marking recipients as unwitting pawns in his quest to tunnel under cities, seize power plants, and choke the life from rival operations. Imagine the irony, challengers proudly pinning it to their chests, oblivious that it represented Giovanni's dream of Kanto as his personal fiefdom, every inch of soil, every cave and crag under Rocket's boot. Even after his defeat, whispers persist that hidden Earth badges still circulate among ex-grunts, a forbidden key to buried caches of illicit tech and Pokémon. This subversion ran deeper than mere recruitment. Viridian Gym anchored Rocket's network, its location at Kanto's northern frontier ideal for smuggling operations into Johto and beyond. Scouts reported seismic disturbances as covers for underground expansions, Raiden burrowing fresh tunnels to stash contraband. Giovanni played the long game, absent from his post early on to mask his dual life, only returning when the player's badge count neared completion. A theatrical reveal that shattered illusions. Defeating him didn't dismantle the hub overnight. Remnants lingered, with lingering grunts boasting of the boss's true vision, even in sequels. The air in Viridian grows heavier still when you consider the Pokémon that powered this scheme. Ground types, not just for battle, but for conquest. Dugtrio's triple drills pierced city foundations. Onix coiled through forgotten mine shafts, and Nidoking's toxic horns marked territorial claims with venomous finality. Giovanni's team wasn't random. It mirrored his philosophy of unassailable foundations. The earth as the ultimate weapon against aerial foes or psychic interlopers. Trainers who bested him often described a fleeting moment post-battle, where the gym's lights dimmed and the floor plates groaned, as if the building itself mourned its master's fall. Even in defeat, the conspiracy's echoes reverberate. Post-game, Giovanni relinquishes his title, but Viridian Gym remains a husk until Blue assumes leadership, restoring its honour with a balanced roster. Yet developers' notes and fan dissections fuel speculation. Was Yujiro ever meant to be Giovanni's precursor, a pure version before his villainy twisted the role? The beta leader's muscular frame and stern gaze, glimpsed in rare pre-release art, suggest a groundmaster untainted by crime, scrapped to heighten the late-game twist. This pivot preserved the gym's mystique, turning it from opener to closer, from Earth's honest guardian to Rocket's poisoned root. As Kanta's gym saga draws to a close amid Viridian's tangled vines and seismic secrets, our whispers now carry us across the border into Johto, where the winds lift us toward Chapter 10, Violet City's aerial temple, a soaring enigma of feathers and forgotten flights that will leave you soaring into dreams. Thank you for drifting with me tonight. If this lore has lulled you towards sleep, share in the comments how many nights in a row. Rest well, as the dust settles on Giovanni's Viridian conspiracy, where the Earth Badge twisted into a tool of territorial domination across Kanto. Our path veers eastward across the churning waves to Johto's heartland. Here in Violet City, the very first gym rises not from shadowed Earth, but from the sky itself, an aerial temple woven into the treetops and spires, where the wind whispers secrets older than the stones below. Perched atop Violet City's highest bluff, this gym defies the ground-bound struggles of its Kanto predecessors. Its walls are living latticeworks of woven vines and polished bamboo, lashed together by generations of skilled hands, allowing gusts to flow freely through open arches. From afar, it resembles a colossal bird's nest, cradled by the perpetual zephyrs that sweep in from the northern roots. Trainers who approach feel the air thicken with feathers, hush, and distant cries, a prelude to battles fought on platforms that sway like the wings of a massive pidgeot in flight. At the helm of this airborne sanctuary stands Faulkner, a young leader whose bloodline traces back through centuries of bird keepers. Guardians who once roamed Johto's wild skies on the backs of mighty avian companions. His ancestors were no mere tamers. They were the vigilant sentinels of the winds, patrolling migration routes that stitched the region's ecosystems together. Long before gyms formalized into the badge-earning trials we know, these bird keepers communed with flocks of Pidgey, Spearow and Doduo, reading the currents of air to predict storms, famines, or the stirrings of legendary unrest. Their most sacred charge, the Sprout Tower, that swaying pillar of living wood at Violet City's core, topped by its resonant bell chime, crafted from the heartwood of an ancient fungus tree. The tower pulses with a gentle rhythm, said to harmonize the land's vital energies and keep the soil fertile amid Johto's fickle seasons. But shadows linger in its base, where whispers speak of buried relics from the brass tower's fiery cataclysm centuries ago, echoes of Ho-Oh's grief that could summon tempests if left unchecked. Faulkner's forebears claimed the role of its eternal watchers after that disaster when fleeing birds sought refuge in the tower's boughs, their cries mingling with the chime to ward off darker forces. Faulkner inherited this duty not through conquest, but through ritual flights at dawn, where he bonds with his father's old noctool, circling the tower until the first light fractures the horizon. Picture the scene. Faulkner, cloaked in feathers from fallen comrades, ascends the tower's spiral stairs each solstice, anointing the bell chime with oils distilled from hoot-hoot berries. This act doesn't just preserve the structure, it binds the aerial temple to the tower's fate. The gym's elevated design allows bird keepers to monitor the chime's vibrations from above, detecting any dissonance that might signal an intrusion. Be it a rogue Murkrow flock or subtler threats from the ruins encircling the city. Those ruins, crumbling vestiges of a forgotten Violet Empire, stretch like skeletal fingers into the forests, harboring unknown script that hints at aerial pacts with ancient sky guardians. Unstable winds from these sites have toppled lesser structures before, but the gym's presence stabilizes them, its trainers releasing waves of winggull and tylo to redirect errant gusts back toward the sea. This guardianship extends far beyond Violet's borders, pulsing through the Zephyr badge itself, a delicate plume of silver and sapphire etched with swirling migration glyphs. Earning it from Falkner grants more than the right to command higher-level flying types. In Giotto's lore, it attunes the bearer to the seasonal rhythms of the skies. Giotto's flying species Pidgeot, leading vast V-formations southward in autumn, Biro scouting spring thaws from the peaks, follow invisible highways dictated by magnetic lie lines and thermal updrafts. The badge acts as a key, harmonizing the wearer's aura with these paths, preventing accidental disruptions that could cascade into regional famines or floods. Historians pore over faded scrolls from Falkner's family vault, detailing how bird keepers distributed proto-badges during lean years. A challenger who proved worthy would receive one, then join aerial relays to guide flocks past stormfronts birthed in the ruins. One such tale recounts a great migration halt in the year of the Three Moons alignment, when Swablu herds refused the southern pass, starving southern villages. Falkner's great-granduncle, bearing an early Zephyr emblem, soared ahead on his crowbat, badge aglow, realigning the lie lines until the skies cleared, and feathers blanketed the roots like benevolent snow. Today, Falkner upholds this by challenging gym aspirants to mid-air contests, their Pokémon weaving through hoop-laced winds to mimic migration maneuvers, ensuring only those who respect the skies prevail. Yet the aerial temple's true mastery lies in its orchestration of balance, a fragile dance between Violet City's bustling hearths and the encroaching ruins that claw at its edges. Those ancient remnants, overgrown with thorny brambles and haunted by occasional ghost types drifting from Ecruteak, release erratic downdrafts that threaten to uproot the city's tiled roofs and scatter market stalls. The gym counters this with precision. Rotating shifts of trainers deploy gust and whirlwind from the temple's vantage, channeling ruin-born winds into harmless spirals that nourish the surrounding orchards instead. Falkner himself calibrates this daily, consulting barometers carved from dragonite scales, adjusting platforms to funnel airflows that cool summer heats and bolster winter thermals. Deeper still, the temple harbours a hidden aviary at its core, a domed chamber where rare specimens like the elusive Chateau and Staraptor nest, their songs recorded on wax cylinders to predict weather shifts months in advance. These birds, drawn by the badge's resonance, form a living barometer, fluttering restlessly before ruin quakes or migration anomalies. In times of crisis, like the masked man's schemes that rippled through Giotto's leaders, Falkner rallied his flock to scout Team Rocket hideouts, their eyes piercing fogs no human could breach. The gym thus stands as Violet's breath, inhaling chaos from the wilds and exhaling order over the city. Through quiet nights, as the bell chime tolls softly below, you can hear the temple's winds carry Falkner's lineage onward. Bird keepers forever entwined with Sprout Tower's sway, Zephyr badges etching new paths in the clouds, and ruins held at bay by feathers and foresight. Thank you to everyone drifting off with us night after night. If this chapter's aerial whispers have lulled you towards sleep, share in the comments how many consecutive evenings you've joined the journey. But as violet skies fade into memory, we descend groundward to the tangled undergrowth ahead, where Aelia's hive mind buzzes with secrets that could ensnare the unwary. Stay tuned for that hive's hypnotic pull. Before we dive deeper into this incredible journey, I'm curious, where in the world are you watching this from? Drop a comment below and let our global community know. And if you're finding this as mind-blowing as I am, hit that like button to help more people discover this story. As Falkner's Zephyrbad channels the unseen currents, guiding Johto's flying Pokémon through their Hamtine's migrations, the path southward through the region leads you straight into the tangled embrace of Ilex Forest, where Aelia Town nestles like a fragile outpost against an ancient, buzzing wilderness. Here, Bugsy reigns as gym leader, a young entomologist whose passion for insects borders on obsession. His Aelia gym, a labyrinth of silken webs and hidden pitfalls designed to mimic the relentless strategy of a swarm in motion. Deep within that forest, Bugsy pores over faded scrolls and chitinous fossils unearthed from the loam. His research fixated on the colossal bug-type Pokémon that dominated Ilex centuries ago, long before human feet trod its shaded paths. These weren't the fleeting pests of today, but titans. Massive Heracross variants with horns that splintered oaks like twigs, scyther packs that sliced through undergrowth with scythes, honed by eons of predation, and swarms of pincer whose vice-like grips reshaped the earth itself into burrows vast enough to swallow villages. Legends whispered among the townsfolk speak of a hive mind, a collective consciousness linking thousands across the canopy, directing raids on intruders and harvesting the forest's lifeblood in synchronized waves that turned day to dusk under clouds of wings. Bugsy believes these ancients weren't mindless hordes, but a proto-society, their queens issuing pheromonal edicts from throbbing hives, suspended in the tallest trees, enforcing a brutal ecology where the weak dissolved into the biomass of the strong. He's mapped their old nesting grounds, cross-referencing pollen samples preserved in amber with modern beedrill behaviours, piecing together how a cataclysm, perhaps a legendary clash, echoing the brass tower's flames, drove them into dormancy, leaving only echoes in the rustle of leaves. This obsession fuels Bugsy's gym challenges, where trainers must navigate chambers alive with metapod cocoons that burst into butter-free illusions, forcing you to anticipate strikes from angles no single mind could predict. But beyond battles, the gym stands as Aelia's bulwark, its true purpose woven into the forest's fragile harmony. The charcoal makers, those quiet artisans who coax black gold from slow-burning miltank wood in hidden kilns, rely on Bugsy's vigilance to shield their fires from rampaging swarms awakened by drought or intruders. One wrong spark and the hives stir, sending waves of kakuna that ensnare loggers in resinous traps, or Ariados whose threads choke the air like fog. Bugsy dispatches his scyther scouts at dawn, their blades parting vines to mark safe paths, while his research notes double as patrol logs, charting beedrill flight patterns to reroute the makers before the first stings fall. Yet the gym's guardianship runs deeper, into the spiritual shrines scattered like forgotten altars throughout Ilex, moss-draped stones etched with runes that hum faintly when Celebi's shadow flickers nearby. These are no mere relics, they're nexus points where the forest's life force pulses, drawing wanderers who seek visions or boons from the unseen guardians. Bugsy and his aides maintain eternal watches, repelling slowpoke poachers from the nearby well, whose disturbances ripple through root systems, agitating the shrines into spectral glows that lure lost souls deeper. In the dead of night, when the air thickens with the scent of damp earth and pine sap, you'll hear the faint skitter of his parasect patrols, their glowing caps illuminating wards against darker forces. Rumours persist of shadowy cults, delving for the ancient hive queen's remains, believing their revival could command the forest against Johto's cities. The gym leaders' lantern-lit vigils ensure the shrine's peace, preserving rituals where elders burn offerings of honeycombs to appease the old rulers, their chants blending with the ceaseless drone of cicadas. At the heart of it all gleams the hive badge, a hexagonal emblem of iridescent chitin, awarded not for solitary triumphs, but for grasping the swarm's unyielding unity. Hold it to your ear, and some swear they hear a distant buzz, a reminder that no Pokémon fights alone in Azalea's domain, each metapod a cog, each Venonat an eye in the collective. Bugsy bestows it with a quiet intensity, his glasses reflecting the badge's facets as he murmurs of the ancients who fell not to blades, but to division within their ranks. Challengers who earn it carry more than metal. They embody the hive's ethos, a subtle ward that calms buzzing thickets on forest trails, parting webs without a thread disturbed, whispers from Ilex's depths, suggest Bugsy's digs have unearthed more than bones, a pulsating amber orb, perhaps the last pheromone gland of a queen, now locked in his gym's vault, its subtle pulses syncing with the shrine rhythms in ways that hint at awakenings yet to come. The charcoal makers etch protective sigils on their bundles, invoking the gym's shadow, while shrine keepers leave honeyed gifts at the leader's door, binding town, forest and swarm in quiet alliance. As Aelia's hive mind pulses onward, safeguarding its layered secrets through Bugsy's watchful gaze, the road emerges from the trees into Johto's bustling core. Up next in Chapter 12, Goldenrod's urban heartbeat reveals how the city's towering game corner and underground networks conceal a rhythm far more seductive and dangerous than any forest, pulsing with trades and shadows that could upend the entire region. As the whispers of Ilex Forest fade, with Bugsy's vigilant eye on those ancient bug-type relics and the charcoal makers tending their sacred flames, Johto reveals its starkest contrast. Goldenrod City, the throbbing core where steel tracks hum and radio waves carry secrets across the region. This isn't some forgotten shrine or shadowed glade. It's a metropolis built on motion, where every arriving train unloads dreams and every broadcast shapes the Johto League's pulse. Nestled amid the skyscrapers and neon glow stands Whitney's Gym, a sleek arena that pulses with the energy of Johto's youngest trainers. Picture the entrance. Glass doors etched with silhouettes of charging Tauros and flexing Machoke, leading into a space more like a high-tech fitness center than a battlefield of old. Weight machines repurposed as obstacle courses, mirrored walls reflecting the sweat of aspiring champions, and digital screens flashing real-time battle stats. It's all crafted to draw in the teenagers flooding Goldenrod's streets. Those wide-eyed kids with fresh Pokeballs and dreams bigger than the magnet train itself. Whitney didn't inherit dusty traditions. She revolutionized the gym into a modern training facility, designed to appeal to the youth of Johto, turning what could have been a relic into a magnet for the next generation. Here, normal types don't just fight. They inspire, pushing bodies and bonds to limits that echo through the city's endless rhythm. But beneath that vibrant facade lies a weight Whitney carries alone, heavier than any barbell in her gym. Goldenrod isn't just a city, it's the linchpin of Johto's veins. The region's largest transport and communication hub, the magnet train station funnels passengers from as far as Kanto's shores. Its platforms are live with the screech of brakes and the murmur of hurried crowds, while the towering radio tower broadcasts league updates, emergency alerts, and even the faint echoes of legendary sightings to every corner of the land disrupt that flow, and Johto grinds to a halt. Shipments of Pokeballs delayed, trainers isolated without battle tips, criminal whispers spreading unchecked through static-laced airwaves. Whitney's hidden pressure of managing the region's largest transport and communication hub means she's not just a leader, she's a sentinel. Her normal types patrolling the shadows of platforms where shady figures might tamper with tracks or signals. In the dead of night, when the gym lights dim, she coordinates with station guards, her Miltank's rollout echoing like thunder against potential saboteurs, all while the city's heartbeat races on oblivious. This dual life forges Whitney into something unbreakable, a cheerful exterior masking the strain of a guardian who never sleeps. Remember the Team Rocket incursions that Johto? Goldenrod was ground zero, those thugs seizing the radio tower to hijack broadcasts and summon their mechanical monstrosities. Whitney rallied, her forces clashing in the corridors where signals once carried hope. Even now, post-crisis, the hub demands constant vigilance. Wild Pokémon drawn to the electrical hum of the tower, or worse, echoes of ancient disturbances rippling through the rails. The magnet train's precision isn't just engineering. It's a fragile web tying Goldenrod to Olivine ports and Ecruteak's mists, and Whitney's gym sits as its unspoken fortress. Normal types blending into the urban sprawl like unassuming civilians ready to unleash havoc. At the heart of her trials lies the Plane Badge, a deceptively simple emblem that belies the raw power it represents. Why the plain badge is deceptively simple, masking the brute force of normal types. Glance at it. A plain silver disc, unadorned, no frills like Fulk's feathered zephyr or Bugsy's intricate hive emblem. It whispers humility, everyday strength, the kind of badge a kid earns after tumbling through Whitney's obstacle course. But earn it you must through sheer endurance, facing her signature Miltank, a bovine juggernaut whose attract lures foes into stupors, followed by stomp that craters the floor and milk drink that heals mid-rampage. Normal types seem vanilla, colourless on the type chart, yet their brute force crushes without flair. No elemental spectacle, just unyielding physicality that mirrors Goldenrod's own relentless grind. That badge isn't a trophy, it's a testament to survival, etched from battles where rollout builds to earthquake force, where hyper beam leaves arenas smoking, teaching challengers that true power hides in the plain, the persistent, the everyday warrior who outlasts the storm. Whitney's arena amplifies this philosophy. Trainers weave through spinning treadmills, rigged as evasion drills, dodging Sudowoodo's flailing limbs, while Clefairy's metronome unleashes chaos from nowhere. It's not spectacle for spectacle's sake. It's forging resilience, much like the city itself, weathers economic booms and shadowy threats. Lore whispers that normal types trace back to Yoto's foundational harmony, Pokémon unbound by elements, embodying the human spirit that rebuilt after the Brass Tower blaze. Whitney channels that, her gym a crucible, where youth learn not just to battle, but to endure the urban heartbeat's unceasing demand. Goldenrod streets thrum with this energy day and night. Vendors hawking fresh water under the game corner's lights. The department store's elevators whispering between floors, stocked with TMs that could tip a league run. Yet Whitney walks among it all, her pink hair a beacon, her laughter cutting through the din as she spots potential in every scrawny Rattata trainer. Her normal squad, Miltank at the fore, backed by loyal Clefairy, and the occasional surprise Girafrig, embodies the city's duality, cute on the surface, devastating underneath. Challengers who falter here often return transformed, badges pinned proudly, carrying lessons in grit that serve them through Yoto's trials. And as the trains pull in with their cargo of wanderers, Whitney stands ready, her plain badge gleaming simply on countless vests. It's the quiet guardian's mark, proof that in Goldenrod's endless motion, brute force wrapped in normalcy guards the flow of Johto's future, that the towers of Yoto hold darker vigils still. Up next in Chapter 13, Ecruteak's ghostly watch, where spectral flames flicker over ruins that refuse to forget, what ancient pacts bind Morty to the shadows of the dance theatre, and why his gaze pierces the veil between worlds. Drift closer as we uncover those chilling secrets. As the vibrant lights of Goldenrod fade behind you, the road west draws you into Ecruteak City, a timeless enclave where dance halls echo with ancient rhythms and twin towers pierce the twilight sky, one forever scarred by fire. Ecruteak pulses with a quiet vigilance, its streets lined by structures that have witnessed Johto's deepest sorrows. At its core stands the burned tower, once known as the Brass Tower, a gleaming spire rivaling the bell tower to the north, built centuries ago to honor the harmony between humans and Pokémon. Legends whisper that it was meant to house one of the guardian beasts, a beacon drawing Ho-Oh's radiant presence. But catastrophe struck when lightning ignited its timbers, reducing the tower to charred ruins and claiming the lives of 3 sacred Pokémon trapped within. From those ashes rose the legendary beasts, Entei, the volcano Pokémon, embodying boundless fury, Raikou, the thunderclap harbinger, swift as a storm's first bolt, and Suicune, the north wind's pure essence, gliding through mists with crystalline grace. Oh, grieving the betrayal of humanity's carelessness, revived them not as prisoners of stone, but as eternal wanderers, forever roaming Johto's wilds. The burned tower's fall severed the bond between the divine birds. Oh in the east, Lugia in the whirlpools west, and the mortal realm, leaving Ecruteak to mourn the lost Brass Tower as a symbol of fragile peace. This tragedy binds the Ecruteak gym inextricably to the legendary beasts, its ghostly heart serving as a watchful sentinel over the ruins. Morty, the gym leader, embodies this haunted duty. Shy yet resolute, cloaked in shadows, he has devoted his life to glimpsing the rainbow wing, that shimmering feather said to herald Ho-Oh's return, a sign of redemption for the tower's desecration. His role extends beyond battles. As guardian of the burned tower, Morty communes with the spirits that linger there, their ethereal forms swirling like fog through cracked stones, ensuring no disturbance awakens the beast's restless fury or invites darker forces to exploit the rift. Step inside the gym, and the air grows thick, lanterns flickering against polished wood panels, etched with spectral murals. Morty's haunter drifts lazily overhead, eyes gleaming with otherworldly knowing, while Gengar lurks in corners, giggling at challengers' unease. These ghost types aren't mere combatants. They're extensions of Ecruteak's spectral legacy, trained to navigate the unseen currents that link the gym to the burned tower's smouldering core. Challengers feel it immediately, chill that seeps into bones, whispers brushing ears like forgotten prayers. Victory here demands not just strength, but an attunement to the intangible, mirroring the city's eternal vigil. Morty himself speaks little of his quest, but his words carry the weight of generations. He patrols the tower's precarious heights, where gusts carry echoes of the fire's roar, scanning horizons for that elusive rainbow glint. The beasts, revived yet scarred, circle back sporadically, their paws leaving no trace but a surge of primal energy that rattles the ruins. Morty's gym stands as the first line of defense, its presence a stabilizing force amid Johto's legendary upheavals, much like the gym leaders who once rallied against greater threats. Earning the fog badge seals this pact. This misty emblem, cool as northern dew against your palm, doesn't just prove your prowess. It grants passage through the spectral mists of the north, those veiling shrouds that cloak routes to forgotten shrines and hidden groves. With it, your Pokémon gain the resolve to part those barriers, strength surging not through brute force alone, but through harmony with the ethereal. Trainers who've claimed it speak of visions in the fog, fleeting glimpses of Suicune's aurora trail or Raiku's electric silhouette, as if the badge attunes you to the beast's wandering paths. Yet beneath this guardianship lies deeper melancholy. The mourning for the lost brass tower permeates Ecruteak, its people gathering in the dance theatre to honour the departed with fluid motions mimicking the beast's grace. Morty joins these rites under moonlight, his gaze ever northward toward the bell tower, where Ho-Oh might one day forgive. The gym's shadows hold these stories, a repository of loss transformed into quiet power, ensuring the fire's lesson endures. Humanity's hubris can summon gods, but only reverence rebuilds the bridge. In these veiled watches, Ecruteak reminds us that some secrets guard themselves, sustained by those who listen to the silence. As the fog rolls in from the west, carrying salt on the wind, our journey turns to the shores where waves crash against unyielding stone. Chapter 14, Seawood's crashing waves, where the sea's fury hides trials that test the spirit like no other. As the spectral echoes of the burned tower fade into Johto's western horizon, the land gives way to jagged cliffs pounded by ceaseless ocean swell, where Seawood City stands as a solitary bastion against the sea's unyielding rage. Here, far from the mainland's bustling paths, Chuck reigns over his gym, a fortress carved from the raw power of crashing waves that test every challenger who dares approach. Chuck himself embodies this untamed frontier. A master of fighting types, he shuns the comforts of urban life, embracing an isolationist training regime that mirrors the island's seclusion. Picture him at dawn, shirtless and unyielding, perched on sheer rock faces as salt water sprays his skin like 1,000 needles. His disciples, few and fiercely devoted, join him in grueling regimens, scaling sheer bluffs with Polyrath hauling boulders the size of small houses, or sparring in the surf where each punch must slice through foaming breakers. No crowds gather here, no cheering spectators from afar. Chuck's philosophy demands total immersion, body and spirit forged in solitude, away from the distractions of cities like Goldenrod or Ecruteak. This regime isn't mere discipline, it's survival, owned against the very elements that isolate Seawood, ensuring his fighters emerge unbreakable, their muscles etched like the cliffs themselves. Yet Chuck's gym serves a deeper purpose, one etched into Johto's maritime defences. Perched high on the promontory, overlooking the churning expanse, it functions as a vital lookout for the region, its elevated perch offering unobstructed views across miles of treacherous waters. Trainers atop the gym's dome scan for storm fronts, brewing in the distance, signal incoming threats with flares or wingle messengers, and coordinate with Olivine's lighthouse to guide ships through fog-shrouded reefs. In times of crisis, when Team Rocket's undersea schemes or rogue whirlpools threaten coastal trade routes, Chuck's vantage becomes a command post. His matchops and hitmonctions stand ready not just for battles but for rescues, diving into riptides to haul stranded fishermen, or battling feral sharpedo packs that venture too close to shore. Johto's heartland relies on this overlooked sentinel, where the gym leader's vigilance keeps the sea's chaos from spilling inland. Beneath these waves lies a history shrouded in mist and legend, one the gym guards with unyielding silence, the secret annals of the Whirl Islands. These labyrinthine atolls, a mere ferry ride from Seawood's docks, twist like the coils of a massive sea serpent, their caverns riddled with undercurrents that have swallowed ships whole for centuries. Ancient Johtonian scrolls, whispered about in Chuck's private dojo, recount how the islands formed from the wrath of primordial storms, cataclysms that reshaped the coastlines long before the brass tower's flames scorched the sky. Fisherfolk tales speak of colossal shadows gliding through the depths, guardians born from the ocean's fury, and at the heart of it all, Lugia sightings, rare glimpses of the diving Pokémon emerging from the island's deepest abyss. The gym holds these records close, archived in waterproof tomes behind the arena's reinforced doors. Chuck inherited them from predecessors who patrolled these waters when Ho-Oh and Lugia first withdrew from human sight after the tower's tragedy. Eyewitness accounts describe Lugia's silver wings, parting whirlpools like silk through water, its cry a thunderclap that calms tempests or summons them anew. One faded log, dated to a forgotten era, details a surge of sightings during a mega tsunami that nearly inundated Seawood. Lugia diving repeatedly to shatter the wave's crest, only to vanish back into the island's embrace. The gym leader's oath binds them to secrecy, lest thrill seekers or worse, organizations like Team Rocket, disturb the balance. Challengers who prove worthy sometimes catch Chuck's knowing glance toward the sea, a silent acknowledgement that victory here attunes one to these hidden rhythms, protecting Johto from oceanic upheavals. Tied to the legendary's ancient retreat, earning the Storm Badge crowns this trial, a gleaming emblem forged to withstand corrosion, symbolizing physical strength triumphing over the ocean's fury. It's no ordinary pin. Challengers must endure Chuck's gauntlet amid simulated tempests, mist machines churning the air, fans whipping gales across the battlefield, water jets mimicking rogue waves that drench the floor. Primap charges through the deluge, its fists a blur against Typhlosion's flames reflected in pooling surf. Heracross grapples foes as if uprooting coral from the seabed. Only those whose bodies defy exhaustion, whose strikes pierce the storm's howl, claim it. The badge's swirling design evokes whirlpools tamed, a badge of not just power, but harmony with the sea's wrath. Wearers feel its subtle pulse in rough weather, a reminder of the endurance demanded by Seawood shores. Generations of leaders have upheld this mantle, their stories etched into the gym's salt-worn walls. Chuck's own rise came during a brutal monsoon season, when he single-handedly quelled a Gyarados rampage that threatened to drag the city under. Manga tales expand this, showing him mentoring young Gold amid island incursions, his booming laugh cutting through the gale as they train atop breaking waves. Even in the game's quieter moments, the ferry to Seawood underscores the peril, delayed by storms until the player's resolve mirrors Chuck's own. These threads weave the gym into Yoto's fabric, a crashing counterpoint to Ecruteak's stillness, where ghosts mourn the past and waves herald the untamed future. Through it all, the Whirl Island's mysteries linger just offshore, their gales carrying faint echoes of Lugia's call, watched eternally from the gym's heights. As Seawood's breakers recede into the night, our journey sails onward to Chapter 15. Olivine's shining beacon, where a lighthouse's glow hides even greater maritime enigmas, waiting to pierce the darkness. From the storm-lashed shores of Seawood, where Chuck's fists and Lugia's whispers guard the Whirl Islands, our journey along Johto's rugged coast leads us to Olivine City, home to the Glitter Lighthouse, its beam cutting through fog like a steel blade against the night. This towering sentinel has stood for generations, not just guiding ships safely into harbour, but anchoring the very soul of the port against the relentless sea. Jasmine, the steel-type gym leader, embodies this unyielding spirit. Once a fierce traditional battler, she honed her skills in the dusty arenas of her youth, commanding Magnemite and Steelix in clashes that echoed the clang of forge hammers. But a pivotal shift reshaped her path. A brutal storm ravaged Olivine's harbour years ago, waves crashing like thunder, threatening to swallow the docks whole. Jasmine, witnessing her hometown's fragility firsthand, set aside the thrill of badges and battles. She became the protector of the Glitter Lighthouse. Her Pokémon no longer tools for victory, but living pillars holding back the ocean's fury. Day after day, she patrols the beacon's base, her gentle demeanour masking a resolve forged in crisis, ensuring the light never falters. The lighthouse itself rises from Olivine's cliffs, its spiral form a marvel of Johtoan engineering, powered by the eternal flame tended by Ampharos. But beneath the glamour lies a deeper truth. The Olivine gym relies utterly on steel types to maintain the structural integrity of the harbour. Steelix burrow into the bedrock, their segmented bodies weaving reinforcements through crumbling seawalls, coiling like living girders to bind stone and salt. Magneton hover in formations, their magnetic fields aligning iron deposits pulled from the depths, patching fractures before they widen. Skarmory patrol the skies, talons dropping precisely forged metal plates to seal breaches. Without these Pokémon, the harbour would erode, ships would founder, and Olivine's lifeblood, trade from distant lands, would dry up. Jasmine's team doesn't just battle. They build, repair, endure, their metallic hides rust-resistant sentinels against corrosion and collapse. Picture the harbour at dawn, mist rolling in from the sea, the air thick with brine, and the low hum of Magneton's levitation. Jasmine stands there, her Steelix's tail thrashing earth into fresh buttresses, while Fortress shells calcify into unbreakable barriers. This symbiosis dates back centuries, when early miners discovered vast steel ore veins beneath the city, drawing Pokémon that thrive on metal. The gym evolved from those humble forges into a bastion, where trainers learn not conquest, but stewardship. Challengers who earn the mineral badge leave with more than a trophy. They grasp the quiet heroism of preservation, and that badge holds secrets of its own. The mineral badge traces its origins to the deep mines connecting Johto to the Sinnoh, underground, labyrinthine tunnels carved by ancient prospectors, chasing veins of stardust ore. These passages, hidden beneath Olivine's feet, snake hundreds of miles eastward, linking the regions in a subterranean web forgotten by most. Legends whisper of miners unearthing badges from glowing crystals deep within, that hummed with magnetic energy, drawing steel types like moths to flame. Jasmine awards one today, but its shape echoes those primordial finds, jagged like raw ore, etched with runes from Sinnoh's lore. Explorers who delved too far spoke of echoes from Hisui's era, where time rifts bled metallic essences into Johto's soil, birthing Pokémon resilient enough to guard both worlds. Venturing into those mines reveals chambers where Steelix nests pulse with geothermal heat, walls veined in corundrite and iron blooming like frozen lightning. Jasmine's gym draws its challengers from these depths, testing their mettle against guardians, attuned to the Earth's hidden pulse. One tale persists of a lost expedition, their lantern light snuffed by cave-ins, only revived when a wild onyx sensed the badger's call and cleared the path. This connection underscores Olivine's role, not isolation, but a bridge between realms, steel types, as the glue-binding surface harbours to underworld mysteries. As night falls, the glitter lighthouse flares brighter, Ampharos's tail casting golden arcs across foaming waves. Jasmine climbs its stairs, her footsteps echoing with purpose, pausing at each landing to check Steelix's reinforcements embedded in the foundation. The harbour below bustles quietly, cargo cranes groaning under loads from distant Sinnoh ports, sailors nodding thanks to the beacon's glow. A transition feels poetic here, from battler's roar to lighthouse keeper's vigil, her Pokémon the unsung architects of safety. Yet whispers persist among old salts. Tremors from the mines hint at stirrings below, veins shifting, perhaps awakening something ancient from Sinnoh's depths. Jasmine dismisses them with a soft smile, but her eyes scan the horizon, ever watchful. The gym's steel types stand ready, their forms gleaming under moonlight, a testament to endurance amid Johto's coastal tempests. This beacon's light pulls us onward, toward the shrouded peaks beyond Olivine, where Chapter 16, Mahogany's Frozen Secrets, unveils chilling enigmas buried in ice that even steel would shatter. What horrors lurk in those glacial vaults, waiting to thaw? As Jasmine's steel types brace the glitter lighthouse against relentless harbour gales, those same northern winds sweep down from Mahogany Town, carrying an unnatural frost that grips Johto's heartland in perpetual winter. Tucked away in the shadow of Mount Silver, Mahogany stands as a frozen outpost, its gym not just a battle hall but a sentinel carved from ice, watching over secrets that have slumbered beneath the surface for generations. Price, the elder of this icy domain, commands respect not through bombast, but through the quiet authority of one who has outlasted seasons upon seasons. At over 70 years old, he moves with the deliberate grace of a glacier advancing, his Alolan Ninetales at his side like loyal frost spirits. The gym itself mirrors his essence, a labyrinth of slick ice pillars and frozen arenas where footing betrays the unwary challenger, and every breath hangs visible in the frigid air. Slippery floors demand precision, mirrors reflect deceptive paths, and the chill seeps into bones, testing resolve long before Pokémon clash. Yet beneath this trial lies Mahogany's true purpose, a watchful eye on the volatile lake of rage, just beyond the town's edge, where waters bubble with unrest and ancient powers stir. Long before Price claimed his title, Mahogany's gym emerged as Johto's northern bulwark, its ice types attuned to the subtle shifts in temperature and temperament that herald greater disturbances. The lake, vast and moody, has always been a place of legend, its depths hiding forces that could shatter the region's fragile peace. Gym trainers patrol its shores, not merely for training but to detect anomalies, ripples that defy nature, fish schools fleeing in panic, or sudden mists that swallow sound. Price's predecessors honed this vigilance, their frostless and dugong gliding silently to chart currents, ensuring no cataclysm brews unchecked. But Price himself harbours shadows deeper than the lake's abyss. Decades ago, he was unmasked as the enigmatic masked man, a figure shrouded in legend from the annals of Pokémon adventures. Driven by a quest to reclaim a lost Lapras from his youth, frozen in time within the lake's icy grip, Price delved into forbidden arts. He wielded the power of the ice type, not just to battle, but to command the frozen undercurrents of Lake of Rage itself, manipulating glaciers to seal away his prize and thwart any who sought to interfere. This dark history painted him as a villain in the shadows, allying unwittingly with forces that sought to exploit Johto's legends, his masked raids echoing through the night like cracking ice. Even after redemption, whispers persist that his control lingers, a subtle mastery over the depths where ordinary ice bends to his will alone. This vigilance sharpened during the crisis of the Red Gyarados, when Team Rocket's insidious radio waves pierced the lake's serenity. Hidden transmitters, pulsing with disruptive frequencies, enraged the Magikarp population, forcing one into its terrifying evolution, a scarlet serpent thrashing the surface into fury. Mahogany Gym became the nerve center, Price's team decoding the signals amid blizzards of static, their ice types immune to the cold amplifying the waves. Trainers scaled frozen outcrops, ears pressed to Pokegear receivers, pinpointing rocket grunts, tampering with the ecosystem for their genetic experiments. The gym's role extended beyond detection. It coordinated with other Johto leaders, rallying defenses while Price's dugong shattered ice barricades to expose the culprits. Without this frozen watchpost, the rage might have spread, awakening horrors from the depths that no badge could tame. Earning Price's Glacier badge demands more than victory over his seasoned lineup. It's a right that imprints the essence of endurance. Shaped like a crystalline shard, the badge gleams with inner fractals, symbolizing the winter of the soul, that profound stillness where impatience fractures and only eternal patience prevails. Price bestows it not with fanfare but a nod, reminding victors that true strength forms slowly, layer by unyielding layer, much like the ice encasing Mahogany's guarded secrets. Challengers leave not just empowered but transformed, carrying the badge's chill as a reminder to weather life's tempests with unbreaking calm. In the quiet aftermath of these revelations, as the winds howl past Mount Silver's peaks, Mahogany's frozen vigil endures, a testament to guardians who stand firm against the encroaching cold. But northward still, beyond the frost-kissed trails, lies an even more ancient power waiting to unfold. Up next in Chapter 17, Blackthorn's Dragon Sanctum beckons. What primal forces does this cavernous stronghold conceal? And why do dragons bow only to those who prove their bloodline's worth? From the frozen grip of Mahogany Town, where Price once schemed with radio waves to rage the lake's guardian serpent, the trail climbs relentlessly into Blackthorn City's jagged embrace, a fortress city carved into Yoto's northern peaks, where the air thins and dragon cries echo through eternal mists. Nestled against sheer cliffs that pierce the clouds, Blackthorn stands as one of Yoto's most ancient settlements, its stone spires weathered by centuries of howling winds and the thunderous wing beats of its draconic inhabitants. Here, the gym isn't merely a battle hall. It's the Dragon Sanctum, a vaulted chamber pulsing with primal energy, its floors etched with scales and runes that glow faintly under torchlight, walls adorned with fossilized claws from dragons long extinct. Trainers who dare enter feel the ground tremble, as if the mountain itself breathes fire beneath their feet. At the heart of this sanctum rules Claire, the fierce dragon-type master whose lineage traces back through generations of dragon tamers. Her duty to the dragon clan weighs heavier than any badge quest. She's sworn to preserve the Dragon's Den, that fog-shrouded cavern just beyond the city, a labyrinth of steaming pools and jagged crystals where the clan's sacred dragons nest, hidden from the world to shield them from poachers, rival clans, and the encroaching shadows of human ambition. Legends whisper that the den holds the last pure-blooded Dragonair and Dragonite lines, guardians against ancient calamities, their scales shimmering like molten gold in the dim bioluminescent glow. Claire patrols its depths nightly, her Kingdra's hydroblasts warding off intruders, ensuring the eggs hatch under the watchful eyes of elders whose roars can shatter stone. This preservation isn't just tradition, it's survival etched into Blackthorn's very foundations. The city itself rose around the den millennia ago, when early settlers forged pacts with the dragons to tame the wild mountains, building the gym as a first line of defense. Earthquakes from deep layers, avalanches triggered by territorial flights. These threats forged Blackthorn into a bastion of resilience, its people learning to live in harmony with beasts that could raise villages in a single breath. Claire embodies that pact, her battles in the sanctum not for glory, but to test challengers' worthiness, weeding out the reckless before they disturb the den's fragile peace. Yet a sent-to gym leader here demands more than strength. It's bound by the strict bloodline requirements of this ancient mountain city. Only those born of the Dragon Clan, with veins carrying the essence of dragon riders from Yoto's founding eras, can claim the title. Claire's cousin Lance, the champion himself, shares this heritage, their family scrolls detailing trials where aspirants must survive the den's fury, bonding with a wild dragon Pokémon through rituals involving sacred scales and incantations lost to most records. Outsiders. They train the acolytes, perhaps, but the throne remains clan only, a safeguard against dilution of the blood that attunes humans to draconic wills. Fail the lineage test, and even the mightiest warrior is cast down, relegated to the city's icy outskirts. Challengers feel this weight acutely. To earn Claire's rising badge, a gleaming emblem shaped like a dragon's ascending wing, forged from rare dragon scales, requires not just victory over her ferocious team of Dragonair, Gyarados and Kingdra, but passage through the dragon's den itself. She withholds the badge until you return with proof of the Elder's approval. A fragment of dragon fang clutched in your palm, granted only after navigating boiling geysers, illusionary mists conjured by ghostly Dratini swarms, and the piercing gaze of the Dragonite matriarch. Those elders, ancient beings said to predate Johto's towers, sense your soul's fire. Approve and the badge becomes a mark of their legendary blessing, unlocking paths to the Elite Four and whispering of greater destinies. Imagine the hush in the sanctum post-battle, Claire's eyes narrowing as she demands the fang, her voice a low rumble like distant thunder. The dragons have spoken. She declares if you succeed, pinning the rising badge to your chest, its warmth seeping into your skin like dragonfire. Fail, and she turns away, the mountain whines howling your inadequacy. This ritual ties back to Yoto's turbulent past. The brass tower's flames, the beast's rebirth, reminding all that dragons embody raw power, tamed only by those who honor the old ways. Blackthorn's isolation amplifies these secrets. Snow dusts the rooftops year-round. Ice path tunnels nearby, linking to forgotten shrines where dragon types slumbered through ice ages. Locals speak in hushed tones of Claire's midnight vigils, her silhouette against lightning storms, as she communes with the den's heart, fending off echoes of Team Rocket's schemes that once rippled from Mahogany's lake. The gym's elevated platform overlooks abyssal drops, a natural deterrent, while Hidden Forges craft Dragonfang replicas for the unworthy. Deceptions to maintain the clan's veil. In quieter moments, the sanctum reveals its scholarly side. Murals depict Lance's rise, his Dragonite soaring over Indigo Plateau, and ancient scrolls detail dragon migrations disrupted by legendary disturbances like Ho-Oh's retreat. Claire pores over these, her duty extending to archiving the clan's lore, preserving not just lives, but the knowledge that dragons once mediated between humans and gods. As the mists of Blackthorn's peaks begin to thin in our journey, we'll shift southward across the seas to Chapter 18, Owen's Elemental Balance, where gyms teeter on the brink of primal forces awakening from the ocean's depths, ready to unleash floods and eruptions that could drown or burn entire regions. As the mist-shrouded peaks of Blackthorn fade into legend, our journey carries us across vast oceans to the sun-drenched shores of Hoenn, where the Earth's very foundations pulse with an elemental rhythm far more precarious than any dragon's roar. Here the land itself teeters on the brink of primal chaos, its volcanoes simmering, its seas churning, all held in check by a delicate equilibrium that the gym leaders have sworn to protect. In the heart of this tropical paradise, Roxanne stands as the unyielding bedrock of Rustboro City. Her rock-type Pokémon, not mere battlers, but sentinels attuned to the subterranean tremors that whisper of deeper unrest. Born from the ancient granite veins threading Hoenn's crust, her gym perches atop layers of fossilized stone, where the air carries the faint, earthy scent of minerals long buried. Roxanne, with her scholarly poise and unblinking gaze, defices the subtle shifts in the ground. The faint cracks forming underfoot, the distant rumbles echoing from Mount Chimney's fiery core. The challengers don't just face Nosepass or Leap. They confront the raw geology of a region forged in cataclysm, where every earthquake risks unraveling the coastal cliffs that shield bustling ports from the relentless tide. Yet Roxanne is no solitary guardian. Farther south, on the windswept sands of Dewford Island, Brawley channels the unbridled force of the waves into disciplined might. His fighting types embodying the physical resilience needed to brace against Hoenn's volatile shores. Picture the gym's open-air arena, salt spray misting the air as Makuhita and Meditite pivot with explosive power, their strikes mimicking the pounding surf that has carved Dewford's caverns over eons. Brawley, sun-bronzed and ever-grinning, trains not for glory but for endurance, his body and Pokémon hardened like coral reefs against the erosive fury of storms. Together, these two form the first line of defense for the region's geological stability, their expertise in stone and sinew, monitoring the fragile interplay between land and sea, quelling shifts that could trigger landslides or tsunamis. Their badges, the stone from Rustborough and the knuckle from Dewford, serve as more than trophies. They act as anchors for the Hoenn landmass itself, symbolic keystones binding the archipelago's disparate plates. The stone badge, cool and unyielding in a challenger's palm, resonates with the Earth's core frequencies, steadying fault lines from Rustborough to the distant battle frontier. Legends murmur that it draws power from the ancient Regirock, slumbering deep within. Its presence a counterweight to the magma, flows threatening to split the continent. Likewise, the knuckle badge pulses with kinetic energy, fortifying the island chains against subduction zones, where ocean plates grind beneath the land, preventing the kind of upheavals that once birthed the seafloor cavern's abyssal scars. This harmony extends beyond individual gyms, weaving into a collective vigilance that defines Hoenn's leaders. When anomalous weather gripped the region, skies darkening with unnatural monsoons, winds howling with primal rage, the 7 leaders convened at Fort Tree City, their treetop sanctuary alive with urgent whispers and the rustle of Keklian camouflage. Winona's aerial scouts reported erratic cloud formations, birthing from the revived stirrings of Kyogre and Groudon, while Flannery's thermal readings spiked from Mount Chimney's unrest. Roxanne presented seismic charts etched with foreboding patterns, Brawley demonstrating tidal surge simulations with his Pokémon's raw power. Tate and Liza synchronized their psychic probes to sense distortion in the atmosphere, and even Norman from Petalburg weighed in on familial bonds strained by the crisis. United in Fortree's elevated halls, they plotted defenses, dispatching teams to intercept Team Aqua and Magma's admins, their battles not for badges, but for the elemental balance that sustains Hoenn's lush rainforests and coral-fringed atolls. Fortree's gathering revealed fractures long simmering beneath Hoenn's vibrant surface. Roxanne recounted how her geodude swarms had plugged fissures near Rustov Tunnel, averting cave-ins that would have severed trade routes. Brawley shared tales of nighttime vigils on Granite Cave's beaches, where his Hariyama repelled seismic swells, threatening to swallow fishing villages whole. The leaders recognized that Hoenn's geology is a living tapestry, its volcanic islands and coral barriers interdependent. Disrupt one thread, and the primal duo of sea and land awakens. Their strategies emphasized preemptive harmony. Roxanne's rocks to cap eruptions, Brawley's fighters to reinforce eroding shores, ensuring the landmass coheres against the ancient grudges of legendaries locked in eternal opposition. These anchors, the stone and knuckle badges, embody that philosophy, etched with runes from Hoenn's primordial era, when the continent coalesced from supercontinent shards. Challengers earning them unwittingly contribute to the grid, their victories channeling latent energies that propagate through the batch network, stabilizing distant quakes and surges. Whispers persist of a hidden chamber beneath Rustborough, where Roxanne communes with fossil revives, consulting their instincts on plate tectonics. On Dewford, Brawley leads midnight drills simulating megaquakes, his laughter echoing as waves crash, a reminder that strength lies in adaptation, not domination. As the leaders dispersed from Fortree, Their pact solidified Hoen's resilience. But the weather crisis lingered like a storm on the horizon, hinting at electric undercurrents yet to surge. In Chapter 19, Morville's electric expansion, we'll uncover how Watson harnesses lightning's fury to power an ever-growing empire, guarding secrets that could illuminate or incinerate the region's core. What hidden circuits pulsed beneath those bustling streets, while Roxanne and Brawley stood as the Earth's steadfast sentinels, stabilizing Hoen's restless crust from the fringes. The heart of the region thrummed with a far more ambitious rhythm. Morville City, that sprawling nexus of steel and circuits, expanded not by the slow grind of stone, but by the crackle of electricity, all under the watchful eye of gym leader Watson. You can almost feel the hum in the air as you wander its wide boulevards, where towering billboards flicker with ads for the latest Pokeballs and bicycles gleam under perpetual daylight lamps. Watson, the elderly inventor with a spark in his eye that never dims, envisioned Morville as more than a mere hub. He dreamed of it becoming a self-sustaining metropolis, a beacon of progress lighting up every corner of Hoenn. His grand scheme took shape in the shadows beneath the city, a colossal underground facility he christened New Morville, meant to house an army of Pokémon workers, generating boundless power. Picture the blueprints unrolled across his cluttered workshop desk. Sketches of vast chambers burrowing deep into the earth, where electric types like Magneton and Voltorb would toil endlessly, their discharges funneled into massive coils to fuel the city's growth. Watson poured his fortune into it, rallying engineers and trainers alike, convinced this would propel Morville into an era of unstoppable expansion. Tunnels snaked outward from the gym itself, the battle arena above serving as the nerve center for what he called the Electric Expansion Initiative. The gym wasn't just a place for battles. It doubled as the command post for city planning, with Watson approving zoning maps between matches. His Volbeat illuminating late-night council meetings where developers plotted new highways and high-rises. But ambition met reality in the damp depths. The project faltered almost from the start. Pokémon meant to power the generators grew restless, their habitats disrupted by the ceaseless digging. Wild herds of Electrike roaming the surface, driven from grassy outskirts now paved over for parking lots. Explosions rocked the tunnels when overworked Manectric shorted out control panels, flooding chambers with sparks and steam. Watson watched his dream crumble, sealing off New Morville not as a triumph, but as a cautionary vault, its corridors echoing with the ghosts of what might have been. The gym, ever the pivot, shifted its role from expansion architect to stabilizer, ensuring Morville's growth didn't outpace its fragile balance with the wild. This failure lingers in the Dynamo badge itself, that gleaming token Watson awards to worthy challengers. Far from a simple trinket, pulses with a deeper secret, attuned to the underground generators still thrumming faintly below the city. Crafted from conductive alloys, salvaged from the project, the badge acts as a key, its success syncing with the colossal dynamo at New Morville's core, a behemoth of whirring turbines and lightning rods that secretly powers not just Morville, but veins of energy stretching across Hoenn. When a trainer pins it to their chest, they unknowingly tap into that network, their own electric Pokémon resonating with the hidden grid during battles. Watson confides this only to the most perceptive victors, whispering how the badge safeguards the flow, preventing overloads that could black out the region. Yet woven into this electric saga is a thornier question, one that haunts Watson's quieter reflections as he tinkers alone at midnight. Progress demands sacrifice. Skyscrapers rise, but at what cost to the Pokémon who called those fields home? Electabuzz nests uprooted for substations, wild Raichu herds scattered by construction noise, their thunderous protests drowned out by the roar of drills. Morville's expansion mirrors a timeless dilemma. Humanity's drive to harness nature clashes with the wild's right to roam free. Watson grapples with it still. His gym, a monument to both innovation and restraint, where battles teach not just strength, but the weight of choices. Challengers leave not only stronger, but pondering if the lights of the city should eclipse the stars Pokémon once danced under. Deep in those sealed tunnels, faint glows persist. Remnants of Pokémon who refuse to leave, their energy sustaining the dynamo like a heartbeat. Watson's legacy endures in the controlled sprawl, a city that expands thoughtfully now, its gym the compass guiding that path. Trainers who conquer it sense the undercurrent, the badge warming against their skin, as if alive with the region's pulse. And as Morville's lights flicker into the Hoenn night, our journey draws us toward warmer depths ahead. In Chapter 20, Lavaridge's thermal springs, secrets bubble up from the Earth's fiery core, where healing vapors conceal a history as volatile as any geyser. What ancient forces stir beneath those steaming pools, and why do they call to the region's most elusive guardians? I hope you're as amazed by this as I am. If you want to stay updated on more content like this, make sure to subscribe and join our community of curious minds. Trust me, what's coming next will challenge everything you thought you knew, as Morville's underground generators hum with contained electric fury, channeling power through the veins of Hoenn's bustling heart. The region's true fire stirs just beyond the horizon. Lavaridge Town nestles in a cradle of mist-shrouded hills, where the air hangs heavy with the mineral tang of sulfur and the constant soothing bubble of thermal springs that draw weary travelers from across the land. These aren't mere baths for relaxation. They're the lifeblood of a place forged by the Earth's restless fury, a geothermal sanctuary built atop ancient lava flows that whisper warnings from deep below. Step into Lavaridge, and the ground itself warms your soles through thin-soled sandals, steam rising in lazy curls from cracks in the earth, like breaths from a slumbering giant. The town's architecture clings to this heat. Wooden walkways elevated above scalding pools, herbed waters piped into communal soaks where locals and Pokémon alike ease aching muscles after long treks. But beneath the serene surface rituals lies a profound purpose, one tied to the colossal shadow looming nearby. Mount Chimney, Hoenn's volatile crown jewel, a volcano whose rumblings have shaped the island chain for millennia. Long before Flannery took her place as gym leader, her grandfather stood as the unyielding sentinel of this fiery domain. He wasn't just a battler of flames, he was the protector of Mount Chimney, patrolling its cable cascade slopes with a vigilance born of generations. Legends passed down through Lavaridge families speak of him sensing eruptions before seismographs could twitch, using his Torkoal's embers to cauterize fissures in the rock face, buying time for evacuations when magma threatened to spill. His legacy wasn't in badges earned or titles claimed, but in the quiet averting of disasters that could have blanketed Hoenn in ash, reshaping coastlines overnight. Flannery grew up in his shadow, idolizing the man who communed with the mountain's rage, training her Numal and Camerupt under his watchful eye, until he passed the mantle, and the weight of it nearly crushed her. She stepped into the gym leader's role, with fire in her veins, but doubt in her heart. Her early battles marked by stumbles that left challengers whispering of an imposter. The Thermal Springs Gym, with its arena of steaming vents and basalt pillars veined in glowing lava, became her proving ground not just for trainers, but for herself. Flannery's struggle to live up to her grandfather's legacy as a protector of Mount Chimney defined her tenure from the start. Nights spent alone on the mountain's rim, her slugma's glow illuminating old journals filled with his hand-drawn maps of pressure vents and seismic patterns. She confided to friends like May that the heat of the springs paled against the pressure of his memory, pushing her to evolve her teams not for glory, but to safeguard the fragile balance he once held alone. And that balance teetered perilously when Team Magma set their sights on the mountain. These red-clad zealots, obsessed with continental expansion, infiltrated Mount Chimney's crater under the cover of smoggy dawns, planting meteorite shards into the magma chamber to destabilize it. Their plan was cataclysmic: trigger a full-scale eruption, unleashing lava flows that would swallow forests, bury roots, and force the land to rise anew from the cooled crust. The gym's role in preventing Team Magma from triggering a catastrophic eruption became Flannery's defining stand. Rallying her fire typists in a blistering clash atop the cable car platform, her camera-ups eruptions countering their Houndoom's flames while she shattered their devices with precise earthquakes. Echoes of her grandfather's tactics rang through every command as she channeled the mountain's fury back at the intruders, sealing vents with molten rock slides before the pressure could build to irreversible levels. In the aftermath, as ash settled like grey snow over Lavaridge's springs, Flannery emerged transformed, her confidence forged in that near apocalypse. The town's thermal waters, once purely restorative, revealed their deeper utility, natural barometers bubbling fiercer when subterranean gases swelled. This vigilance extends to the heat badge itself, awarded to those who conquer her trials. Far from a mere token, the heat badge serves as a literal thermometer for the mountain's internal pressure, embedded with a shard of volcanic glass that shifts from cool obsidian to pulsing crimson as seismic stress mounts. Trainers who earn it carry not just proof of victory, but a portable warning system, its glow intensifying days before tremors warn of impending danger. Flannery calibrates these badges personally in the gym's forge-like backroom, drawing from the same springs her grandfather monitored, ensuring every challenger becomes an unwitting guardian. Lavaridge's springs pulse. With this history, their waters infused with minerals, leached from eons of eruptions, healing burns from training mishaps, and soothing the strain of constant watchfulness. Pokémon like Geodude and Machop thrive here, their rocky hides polished smooth by steam baths, while Flannery's own team lounges in private pools, embers flickering in rhythm with the Earth's heartbeat. The gym's design mirrors this symbiosis. Traps of sudden geysers test footing during battles, forcing challengers to attune to the terrain's moods, much like the leader must attune to the mountain. Ancient murals on the walls, faded but fervent, depict early Hoenn settlers, diverting lava flows with Numal's might, suggesting the gym's roots stretch back to those primordial days when fire types first tamed the wilds. Yet the threats linger, subtle as rising steam. Team Magma's defeat didn't silence Mount Chimney. Residual meteorite fragments occasionally spark rogue flows, drawing Flannery back to the Xus, with her badge network glowing in unison. Her growth mirrors Hoenn's geology, raw potential hardened by pressure into something unbreakable, as challengers soak in the springs post-battle, sharing tales of their heat badges' subtle throbs. They unwittingly join a lineage of protectors, from her grandfather's era to the present. The steam clears, revealing paths that wind toward quieter shores ahead. Up next in Chapter 21, Petalburg's familial bond, where family ties weave an unbreakable shield against the storms brewing in Hoenn's core. Stay with us to uncover how one gym leader's personal sacrifices hold the region's fragile peace together. As the volcanic tremors of Mount Chimney finally subside under Flannery's watchful eye, the path westward along Hoenn's sun-dappled routes leads you to Petalburg City, a serene coastal haven where the ocean's rhythm meets the quiet pulse of family life. Here, amid blooming gardens and whitewashed homes hugging the shoreline, stands the Petalburg Gym. Not a fortress of fire or stone, but a modest wooden hall that feels more like a family estate than a battleground. Its walls, weathered by salt spray and time, whisper of bonds deeper than any rivalry, bonds that Norman, the leader, has nurtured since his unlikely journey brought him to these shores. Norman wasn't born in Hoenn's embrace. He arrived from the rugged hills of Yoto, carrying with him the disciplined spirit of trainers who'd faced the shadows of the masked man and the restless legends of the burned tower. In Johto, where gyms like Price's icy lair and Claire's dragon-haunted den demanded unyielding resolve, Norman honed his craft with normal-type Pokémon, those unassuming partners who'd embody everyday resilience. From the loyal Slackoth lounging in the underbrush to the steadfast Slaking, whose hidden power mirrors the quiet strength of the human heart. when Hoen's gym system was still taking shape, fragmented after ancient upheavals tied to the region's primal forces, Norman crossed the sea, drawn by tales of a land where human ambition threatened to drown out the wild harmony of Pokémon. He didn't come as a conqueror, but as a father and a teacher, tasked with establishing a standard for Hoenn trainers, one rooted not in raw power, but in maturity earned through life's trials. Picture the salty breeze carrying the calls of Wingull overhead as Norman first stepped onto Petalburg's docks, his young son trailing behind, eyes wide at the vast ocean that separated them from Yoto's familiar mists. The city, with its labyrinth of canals and flower-lined streets, was already a place of beginnings, home to fledgling trainers stepping out from under parental wings. But without a unifying gym leader, Hoen's early challengers wandered aimlessly, chasing badges like children after fireflies, their bonds with Pokémon fraying under unchecked ambition. Norman changed that. He built the gym from the ground up, using local timber that creaked like old friends, and declared it a sanctuary for balance. No flashy spectacles here. Battles unfold on tatami mats worn smooth by countless footsteps, under lanterns that sway gently, casting warm shadows that remind you of hearth fires back home. At the heart of Petalburg Gym lies its guiding philosophy: the balance between human ambition and Pokémon nature. Norman teaches that trainers too often push their partners beyond natural limits, treating them as tools for glory rather than companions shaped by instinct and wild roots. His normal types exemplify this. Makuhita with their meditative discipline, drawing from the Earth's unhurried cycles. Vigoroth clawing through frenzied energy, only to rest in profound stillness. And Staking, the ultimate paradox, whose apparent laziness veils a slumbering might awakened only by true understanding. Norman drills this into every challenger. Ambition without restraint leads to discord, much like Team Magma's reckless tampering with the land's core. He shares stories from Yoto of how unchecked human meddling drove Ho-Oh and Lugia into hiding after the Brass Tower blaze, their fiery rebirth of the legendary beasts, a warning etched in legend. In Hoenn, where Kyogre and Groudon slumber beneath primordial seas and volcanoes, the gym becomes a microcosm of restraint. Trainers must attune to their Pokémon's rhythms, fostering a partnership where ambition serves nature, not subjugates it. Generations of Petalburg families have passed through these doors, their stories woven into the very beams. Norman's own household stands as the purest testament, his wife, ever the quiet anchor, tending victory roads both literal and figurative. His daughter, May, bursting with the wanderlust he once knew, setting off on her own journey only to return transformed. Even his son, Brendan, embodies the gym's ethos, learning that true strength blooms from vulnerability, from watching a parent's battles, feeling the weight of expectation without buckling. Norman withholds his own challenge until a trainer proves ready, sending them first against his deputies, those steadfast aides whose Pokémon mirror everyday life. Whismer's timid echoes growing into bold roars, Numel's plodding endurance mirroring the trainer's own growth. Only then, when maturity gleams through scars of defeat and quiet victories, does he reveal the ultimate trial. And that revelation comes with the balance badge itself, a simple silver emblem etched with interlocking spirals. One for the trainer's drive, the other for the Pokémon's innate wildness. It's no ordinary pin. Lore whispers it's the final test of a trainer's maturity, forged in Petalburg's forges from meteorite shards washed ashore, infused with the essence of Hoenn's equilibrium. Earning it means proving you've transcended youthful impulsiveness, that your ambition harmonizes with the world's ancient pulse. Challengers emerge not as victors drunk on triumph, but as guardians in waiting, ready to join the leader's circle against threats like Aqua or Magma. Norman pins it with a father's pride, his eyes searching yours for that spark of wisdom he's spent years cultivating in his own children. In Petalburg, the gym isn't just a stop on the league trail, it's a forge for souls, where familial bonds temper the steel of resolve. The waves crash eternally outside, a reminder that balance endures beyond any single battle. As we leave the hearth-like glow of these halls behind, the canopy of Fortree City beckons in Chapter 22. Fortree and the Canopy Guard, where treetop sentinels hide secrets that could reshape the skies themselves. What aerial mysteries guard the heart of Hoenn's wild heights? As trainers push northward from Petalburg's grounded ideals of balance, the landscape rises into a verdant labyrinth where the earth yields to the endless embrace of the sky. Fortree City clings to the rainforest canopy like a living crown, its walkways woven from vines and timber, high above the forest floor, a sanctuary where the wind whispers secrets through leaves that never touch the ground. Here Winona stands as the Canopy Guard, her spirit intertwined with the heavens in a bond deeper than any trainer's command. Born into a lineage of sky watchers, she feels the currents of air as extensions of her own breath, soaring alongside her Altaria and Swellow, not as master and Pokémon, but as kin in an eternal dance. This connection drives the gym's sacred duty, shielding the rainforest from those who would carve it away for progress or plunder. Towering trees form natural battlements, their branches a labyrinthine arena where flying types patrol the upper realms, warding off poachers, invasive species, and the subtle encroachments of weather gone wild. Winona's challengers don't just battle, they attune to the rhythm of updrafts and rustling fronds, learning that true strength lies in harmony with the wild heights. The gym itself perches like a bird's nest amid the treetops, its open-air platform ringed by sheer drops into misty depths below. Wooden beams etched with ancient wing patterns creak under the weight of history, while gusts carry the distant calls of wild winggull and tylo. Winona, clad in flowing white robes that mimic clouds, greets each opponent with eyes that pierce the horizon, her voice a gentle gale urging them to feel the wind's will. Her team, Halipa slicing through rain-swept skies, Skarmory's steel feathers glinting like storm-sharpened blades, embodies the canopy's vigilance. When Team Magma and Aqua stirred the primal seas and lands, it was Fortree that hosted the urgent summit of Hoenn's 7 leaders, their voices rising above the canopy, to plot against the tidal cataclysms threatening to drown or scorch the green heartlands. Yet the feather badge reveals an even profounder purpose, bestowed upon victors as a key to the skies themselves. This delicate emblem, crafted from iridescent plumes said to echo the wings of forgotten guardians, pulses with an otherworldly hum when held aloft. It allows worthy trainers to commune with Hoenn's soaring protectors, Tropius gliding through dawn mists, Salamence roaring across thunderheads, even fleeting glimpses of the legendary Rayquaza coiled in the ozone. In lore whispered among elders, the badge attunes the bearer's call to these majestic beings, summoning aid in Daidar hours or granting visions of storms yet to break. Winona imparts it not lightly, intoning rituals that bind wearer to watcher, ensuring the rainforest's aerial sentinels remain ever vigilant against shadows creeping from the clouds. Beneath this aerial poetry lies a hidden history, rooted in the ancient sky pillar, that mist-shrouded spire piercing the heavens far to the east. Millennia ago, when Hoenn's continents still shifted like restless dragons, the pillar served as a ladder to the gods, where Rayquaza descended to quell the warring titans Kyogre and Groudon. Carved from coral and crystal by hands long turned to dust, its heights housed oracles who communed with the sky serpent, their prophecies etched into walls now overgrown with luminous moss. Fortree's gym leaders trace their bloodlines to these sentinels, a clandestine order sworn to safeguard the pillar's crumbling seals and forbidden scrolls. Winona's own grandmother scaled its perilous flights, binding pacts that echo in every badge she awards. When distortions threaten, like the cults seeking to rouse Rayquaza prematurely, the Canopy Guard activates, their badges flaring as beacons to rally the soaring host. This link binds Fortree not just to the forest below, but to the vaulted dome above, where the balance Norman championed finds its loftiest expression. In quieter moments, as fog rolls through the canopy at dusk, Winona meditates on platforms suspended by cables, her pelipper circling like faithful stars. Challengers who earn her trust hear tales of near catastrophes averted. A hidden magma vein snaking toward the roots, quelled by summoned fly-gone winds. Invasive beedrill swarms dispersed by Skarmory's sonic booms. The gym's archives, tucked in hollowed baobab trunks, hold maps of aerial trade winds marked with warnings of sky rifts. Tears where otherworldly winds spill through, hinting at Hisui's ancient distortions echoing across eras. These guardians ensure the rainforest breathes freely, its oxygen fueling Hoenn's very skies. Thank you to those of you who've been joining us night after night. You're drifting off with the whisper of leaves tonight. Drop in the comments, how many evenings in a row? Up next, Chapter 23. Moss Deep's Twin Psychics, where cosmic visions and sibling synergy guard secrets that bend minds and stars alike. You won't want to miss the psychic veil lifting on their telepathic fortress, as Winona's feather badge whispers to the soaring guardians of Hoenn's skies. Those aerial sentinels often circle toward the distant horizon, drawn by an unseen pull across the sea. There, on a secluded island far from the mainland's bustle, Moss Deep City emerges from the mist-shrouded waves, its white domes and spires gleaming under perpetual starlight. This remote outpost, cradled by coral reefs and relentless tides, houses not one gym leader but two, the inseparable twins, Tate and Liza, whose psychic bond defies the boundaries of flesh and mind. Picture the island's isolation not as mere geography, but as deliberate design. Moss Deep's gym was erected on this forsaken speck of land centuries ago, when early Hoenn sages recognized the peril of psychic energies clashing in crowded ports or vibrant cities. Urban minds, teeming with unspoken thoughts and flickering emotions, create a cacophony that overwhelms even the strongest psychics. Waves of stray telepathy crashing like storms, distorting visions and fracturing focus. By banishing their gym to this watery exile, the founders ensured purity. No interference from fishermen's worries or traders' schemes. Just the clean hum of ocean salt and stellar winds. Here, Tate and Liza could attune their powers without the world's mental debris eroding their edge, standing as unyielding sentinels against cosmic threats that demand absolute clarity. The twins move as one, their battles a symphony of synchronized assaults, where Solrock spins in fiery defiance alongside Lunatone's lunar glow. This isn't mere showmanship. The gym's core philosophy revolves around synergy, the art of minds merging to amplify what a single trainer could never achieve. Challengers enter the psychic arena, a vast crystalline chamber echoing with ethereal chimes, and face not isolated foes, but pairs locked in perfect harmony. Claydol levitates in tandem with Zatu's prophetic stares. Medicum strikes with Boltor's ancient spins. Every move a thread in an invisible web. Defeating them demands your own unity, forcing you to weave your team's strengths into a counter-rhythm, lest their combined Psybeam shatter your resolve. It's a trial born from the twins' own lifelong fusion, where Liza's intuitive flashes guide Tate's calculated strikes, their laughter echoing as one even in victory or defeat. Yet this synergy serves a deeper purpose, etched into the very badge they bestow. The Mind Badge, a shimmering emblem, pulsing with otherworldly light. Legends whisper that its power, enhancing special attacks with an unnatural fervor, stems from extraterrestrial energy harvested from the stars themselves. Long before rockets pierced Hoenn's atmosphere, meteorites streaked across Moss Deep's night sky, carrying fragments of alien essence that twisted wild Pokémon into forms beyond earthly ken. The badge channels this cosmic force, a safeguard for trainers, venturing into realms where psychic might meets the void's mysteries. Tate and Liza don't just test challengers. They attune them to these energies, preparing hearts for battles against invaders from beyond. At the island's heart stands the Moss Deep Space Center, a fortress of steel and secrets where scientists probe the universe's veiled corners. The twins guard it with fervent devotion, their psychic senses extending like invisible nets across the facility's labs and launch pads. They've thwarted infiltrators countless times. Team Magma grunts slinking through vents, Aqua operative disguised as researchers, sensing deceit before a single footfall betrays it. But their true vigil concerns the Deoxys meteor, that crimson harbinger which plummeted into the center's grounds during a cataclysmic storm. This alien rock birthed Deoxys itself, a shape-shifting enigma capable of warping DNA and bending reality. Tate and Liza felt its arrival as a thunderclap in their minds, a psychic scream echoing from the stars. They sealed its chamber deep within the center, their combined powers weaving barriers no technology could breach, ensuring the meteor's mutagenic pulse remains contained. Whispers persist of Deoxys stirring in dormancy its forms. Attack, defense, speed normal, shifting in response to lunar cycles, guarded eternally by the twins lest it unleash pandemonium on Hoenn. In quieter moments, as sea breezes carry the scent of phosphorescent plankton, Tate and Liza meditate atop the gym's observatory dome, their eyes tracing satellite trails. They've confided to trusted allies that the meteor holds blueprints of forgotten worlds, crystalline data on Pokémon evolutions unbound by gravity, energies that could rewrite life itself. The Space Center's launches aren't mere exploration, they're divinations, probes sent to map threats converging on Hoenn's orbit. The twins' role extends beyond battles, their minds linked to monitoring arrays that detect anomalies light years away. When the meteor first crashed, it fractured the island's ley lines, birthing psychic mirages that lured ships to jagged reefs. Illusions Liza dispelled with a thought, while Tate anchored the rifts with Solrock's solar flares. Even now, residual pulses from the rock amplify local wild Pokémon, turning Aber into vigilant watchers and Natu into oracles perched on every cliff. This guardianship weaves into Hoenn's fragile equilibrium, where ocean depths and stellar voids brush perilously close. Challengers earning the Mind Badge leave with more than a trinket. They carry a sliver of that extraterrestrial spark, a subtle attunement that heightens intuition against the unknown. Tate's boyish grin and Liza's knowing gaze linger in memory, a reminder that true power blooms not in solitude, but in echoes shared across the ether. As the twins patrol their island bastion, their psyches ever vigilant, one can't help but wonder what cataclysm brews in the shadows they shield from view, and that veil thins further when we reach Chapter 24. Sootopolis's ancient cradle, where submerged ruins pulse with primal forces that could drown the world in legend-made flesh. From the psychic harmonies echoing across Mossdeep's twin spires and the otherworldly pulse of that Deoxys meteor, our journey through Hoenn's guardians pulls us now to the lofty isolation of Sootopolis City, perched impossibly within a sheer volcanic crater, where mist-shrouded cliffs plunge into a sacred lake that mirrors the stars themselves. This is the heart of the region's ancient cradle, a place where the veil between slumbering primordials and the waking world thins to a whisper. Sootopolis stands as Hoenn's forgotten bastion, its streets carved from obsidian stone by hands long turned to dust, accessible only by sheer cliffs or the patient soar of wingull flocks. Legends murmur that the city rose from the ashes of a cataclysmic clash between land and sea, when the earth itself groaned under the weight of expansion and the oceans raged to reclaim their domain. At its core pulses the Sootopolis Gym, not merely a battle hall but a sanctified colosseum hewn into the crater's living rock, its walls etched with petroglyphs depicting colossal titans locked in eternal strife. Waterfalls cascade eternally from hidden aquifers, feeding a central pool that churns with an unnatural luminescence, as if the gym breathes the breath of the deep. Here the mantle of guardianship falls to Wallace and his mentor Wan, two figures bound by bloodline and vow to an age-old duty. Wallace, with his flowing cape and eyes like polished aquamarine, inherited not just the gym's leadership, but the sacred watch over the Cave of Origin, a yawning abyss just beyond the city's edge. This cave, shrouded in perpetual twilight and veined with glowing crystals, cradles the slumbering forms of Groudon and Kyoga themselves. or to the oral histories passed down through Setopolis' elders insist. These legendaries, embodiments of drought-scorched earth and relentless deluge, retreated into torpor eons ago, after their world-shattering duel, threatened to unarmake Hoenn entirely. Wallace and Wan stand as their vigilant sentinels, attuned to the faintest tremors that might signal an awakening. In times of crisis, like when Team Aqua and Magma meddled with primal orbs to stir the beasts from their rest, it was Wallace who barred the cave's mouth, channeling the gym's waters to quell the rising chaos, while Wan rallied the other leaders from afar. Their duty extends beyond mere vigilance. It's woven into the fabric of Setopolis' survival. The cave's depths, labyrinthine tunnels alive, with bioluminescent fungi and the distant rumble of subterranean rivers. House altars where offerings of pure spring water are laid to appease the sleepers, disrupt the balance, and the ground quakes. Fissures spew lava-tinged floods, and the skies weep without end. Wallace often speaks in hushed tones of visions granted him during meditation by the cave's pool. A crimson behemoth curling amid molten veins, a sapphire leviathan coiled in abyssal pressure, reminders that their role is to ensure humanity never provokes what nature intended to hibernate. Wan, ever the elder statesman with his ornate robes and unyielding poise, trained Wallace in these rites, passing down scrolls yellowed by centuries that detail omens. A sudden flock of Pelipper vanishing from the skies, or the lake's waters turning brackish overnight. The gym itself transforms this duty into spectacle and sacrament, its architecture a ritualistic arena designed for the rain dance ceremony, a rite predating the Pokémon League by untold generations. Picture the challenger's platform rising hydraulically from the central basin, surrounded by tiered ledges where spectators, cloaked priests, and awed pilgrims chant in rhythmic cadence. Cascading sheets of water frame the space, manipulated by ancient mechanisms tied to the crater's aquifers, while mythology glide through the depths like living sigils. The ceremony commences at dawn or dusk, when Wallace or Wan invokes the dance not with words alone, but through synchronized battle. Waves summoned by Ludicolo's hips, torrents unleashed by Whiskash's thrash, culminating in a deluge that mirrors Kyogra's primal call. This isn't frivolous pageantry. It's a controlled invocation, channeling rainwater to nourish the parched cave entrance and soothe the legendary's restless dreams. Defeat the leader here, and you don't just claim victory. You partake in the rite. Your Pokemon's moves harmonizing with the falls to reinforce the barrier against primordial unrest. Archaeologists who've braved the crater's updraft's whisper of even older foundations. Submerged ruins visible only when the lake recedes during rare eclipses, bearing murals of robed figures performing the dance amid silhouettes of titans. The gym's design echoes these, with pressure plates that trigger illusory storms and walls that amplify echoes into thunderous hymns. In Emerald's shadowed lore, Wan steps aside for Wallace, affirming the lineage's continuity, their shared mytholotic a symbol of fluid inheritance. Yet peril shadows this grace. During the Great Weather Crisis, the gym's waters boiled and froze in tandem, forcing its closure until Rayquaza's descent restored equilibrium, a divine endorsement of their stewardship. Earning passage through this arena yields the Rain Badge, a droplet of sapphire set in silver filigree, pulsing faintly with captured mist. Far more than a league token, it serves as the ultimate seal on the region's primordial forces, bestowed only after proving one's command over deluge without inviting catastrophe. Affixed to a trainer's case, it resonates with the cave's crystals, granting passage to deeper sanctums, or, in lore, calming frenzied weather Pokémon drawn to Setopolis' volatility. Holders speak of dreams where they tread the cave's forbidden paths, glimpsing Groudon's molten flanks, or Kyogra's thin shadow, a psychic imprint ensuring they never abuse the power. In the manga's fractured tales, Wallace wields it to part storm clouds over Evergrande, while anime glimpses show Wan etching runes into badges under moonlight, binding recipient to oath. This badge's quiet authority underscores Hoenn's fragile peace, A reminder that gyms like Setopolis aren't built for glory but for restraint. Challengers emerge not triumphant but humbled, their steps lighter on rain-slick stone, carrying a sliver of the cradle's hush. Thank you to those of you who've been joining us consistently, night after night. If you're drifting off with this tale of mists and ancient sleeps, drop in the comments how many evenings in a row you've tuned in. Your stories keep these deep dives flowing. As the echoes of Setopolis fade into the horizon, we'll ascend next to Chapter 25. Sinnoh's Spear Pillar Sentinels, where time and space fracture under the gaze of creation's architects. What cataclysmic secrets do those towering gym guardians truly hold at bay? As the ritualistic echoes of Setopolis' rain dance ceremony fade into Hoen's misty legends, our journey carries us northward to Sinnoh, where the gym leaders stand as unyielding sentinels atop Spear Pillar, the shattered summit where time and space themselves hang by a thread. This colossal plateau, piercing the clouds above Mount Coronet, has long been a nexus of distortion, its fractured pillars whispering of rifts torn open centuries ago during the ancient upheavals of Hisui. Here the veil between eras thins, and the air hums with the faint, erratic ticking of moments out of sync, echoes of battles long past mingling with glimpses of futures yet unborn. Sinnoh's gym leaders, forged in the fires of this precarious history, embody a lineage of protectors whose duties stretch back through generations. Take Rock, the young yet resolute leader of Auerberg Gym, carved deep into the heart of the Auerberg mines. His family has toiled these labyrinthine tunnels for ages untold, their pickaxes not merely unearthing coal and ore, but safeguarding the subterranean vaults where fossils of prehistoric titans slumber. Cranidos skulls and Shilden plates, relics from an era when the land buckled under the weight of primal forces, line the mine's shadowed walls, their stone eyes seeming to watch for any who might disturb the balance below. Rak's father before him, and his grandfather's kin, passed down this vigilant charge. To mine responsibly, to contain cave-ins that could swallow secrets whole, and to train rock-type guardians like Onyx and Rampardos against intruders drawn by the Earth's buried power. Not far from those echoing depths, in the fog-shrouded streets of Canalav City, stands Byron, Rak's own father, and the steel-clad steward of the Canalav Library. This towering repository of forbidden tomes, its shelves groaning under volumes penned in languages older than the mountains, holds chronicles of Sinnoh's mythic founders, the Sinnis trio who once communed with Dialga, Palkia, and Arceus itself. Byron's generational duty mirrors his son's, but where Rak delves into stone, he fortifies knowledge, his Bastiodon and Lucario patrolling the library's iron-bound doors against scholars turned scavengers. Father and son, bound by blood and badge, represent the unbreaking chain linking Sinnoh's surface strife to its foundational lore, their gyms less arenas of sport than bastions against the chaos seeping from below. These badges they bestow, the mine badge from Roark's grit-strewn gym, gleaming like polished quartz veined with history, and the coal badge from Byron's forge-hot chamber, forged from the very fuel that powered Sinnoh's ancient forges, serve as more than mere tokens of victory. They are keys to the region's ancient history, etched with runes that resonate with Spear Pillar's energies. Collectors of these emblems gain not just passage to the Elite Four, but subtle access to hidden lore. The Mine Badge attunes one to fossil revival rituals buried in Auerberg's depths, while the Coal Badge unlocks library passages detailing the Sinnoh creation myth, where time's Lord Dialga first shaped the world's relentless march forward. Yet the true test of these sentinels unfolds when shadows gather at Spear Pillar's edge. Team Galactic, that cadre of cold-hearted visionaries led by the enigmatic Cyrus, seeks to exploit the Pillar's temporal rifts, summoning Dialga and Palkia to remake the universe in their sterile image. The gym's role in preventing Team Galactic from accessing those rifts becomes the linchpin of Sinnoh's survival. 6 leaders, Rak with his unyielding rocks, Gardania summoning the forest wrath from Eterna, Malene's swift aura strikes from Veilstone. Crash awakes tidal fury from Pastoria. Fantina's spectral dances from Hartham. And Candace's icy barrages from Snowpoint. Raleigh under Volkner's electric vigilance from Sunnyshore. Byron anchors the line, his steel types clashing against Galactic's experimental horrors. Picture the scene atop that wind-lashed pinnacle. Pillars of jagged stone thrust skyward like broken teeth. The ground trembling as red chains warp reality, pulling forth the colossal forms of time and space incarnate. Rax Rampardos charges through swirling distortions, shattering Saturn's toxicroak with headbutts that echo like thunderclaps in a fractured timeline. Byron's Bastion shields the group, its armoured dome deflecting Jupiter's poison barrages, while Mars's Purigly lashes futilely against unmovable steel. The air crackles with displaced moments, fragments of Hisui's ancient wars flickering like ghosts amid the fray. Yet the leaders hold the line, their badges pulsing in unison to seal the breaches. Cyrus's grand design crumbles not through raw power alone, but through this united front, a testament to Gyms as the world's quiet enforcers, ever vigilant against those who would twist legend into apocalypse. In the aftermath, as the rifts seal and the pillar stands silent once more, Rack returns to his mines, Byron to his scrolls, their duties unbroken. Sinnoh's guardians remind us that some histories are not meant for conquest, but for quiet stewardship amid the world's hidden fractures. Their story of familial resolve and collective defiance sets the stage perfectly for what comes next in Chapter 26. Unova's Guardians, where sleek skyscrapers conceal even deeper schisms between ideals and ancient shadows. Stay with me to uncover how they redefine protection in a world of plasma and paradox. As Sinnoh's gym leaders stood firm against Team Galactic's assault on the temporal rifts, sealing away the chaos that threatened to unravel time itself. The winds of change carried whispers of unrest to Unova's eastern shores. There, in a region born from ideals of truth and liberation, the gym system took on a sharper edge, transforming from scattered strongholds into a network of vigilant sentinels, ready to strike back against those who twisted philosophy into tyranny. Unova's cities hum with the rhythm of progress, steel bridges arching over rivers that carve through urban sprawl, where trainers from every walk of life chase dreams under the shadow of towering skyscrapers. Yet beneath this modernity lurks an ancient pulse, tied to the bones of dragons that once soared above primordial skies. The gym leaders here aren't just challengers' foes. They're the frontline defenders of a fragile harmony, their badges not mere trophies but keys to unlocking the region's deepest questions about freedom, power, and the bond between human and Pokémon. It began with a brazen theft that exposed the cracks in their vigilance, deep within the hallowed halls of the Nakri Museum, where fossils whisper secrets of extinct titans and stone carvings depict the birth of Unova's legendary trio. Team Plasma struck under the cover of night. Their grunts swarmed like shadows, cloaked in white robes, emblazoned with the snarling Purloin emblem, overwhelming the Night Watch with a barrage of electrified nets and hypnotic waves from their Mashana. The prize? A colossal dragon skull, one of the sacred relics unearthed from Dragon Spiral Tower's icy depths, said to resonate with the essence of Reshiram and Zekrom themselves. This wasn't mere plunder, it was a declaration of war, a theft meant to awaken forces long dormant. The gym leaders mobilized in haste, Lenora of Nakreen at the forefront, her sturdy Watchug barking orders amid the chaos. Berg from Castelia arrived with his insect legions buzzing through the corridors, while the Striaton trio rushed from their distant restaurant to an arena. Alessa sped in on rails of lightning, a Zebstrika thundering against Plasma's barriers. But the heist unfolded too swiftly. Plasma's sages, cloaked in enigmatic hoods, unleashed a coordinated frenzy. Galurk smashing display cases, Leopard vanishing into illusions, snatching the skull before the Guardians could fully converge. The dragon skull slipped away into the night, carried toward Plasma's hidden lairs, leaving the museum's marble floors cracked and its leaders humbled. this failure stung deeply, a stark reminder that even Unova's elite could falter against an enemy who preached liberation while chaining Pokémon to their cause. From that humiliation rose a fiercer resolve. The gym system in Unova, once a loose collection of type specialists scattered across the land, evolved into a rapid response task force, their communications linked by encrypted Pokegear networks and urgent summons from the Pokémon League itself. No longer bound solely to their arenas, leaders like Clay from Driftvale drilled their teams in underground maneuvers, preparing for subterranean infiltrations, while Skylar from Mistralton retrofitted her airstrip into a launch pad for aerial pursuits. They trained in rotating battalions, sharing strategies over late-night gatherings in Nimbasa's neon glow, where Elasa's spotlights pierced the fog of doubt. When Plasma resurfaced, liberating Pokémon from unwitting trainers under the guise of mercy. These modern guardians struck back with precision, intercepting shipments at Chargestone Cave, where roaring boulders clashed against Klinklang swarms, and storming the P2 laboratory hidden in the twisting alleys of Unova's underbelly. Their unity peaked at the pinnacle of Plasma's folly, N's castle rising like a gothic spire from the poisoned sands of Route 14. Here the full cadre assembled, Roxy pounding rhythms of fury with her toxic Garbodor, Marlon summoning tidal waves from his Jellicent horde, and Drayden unearthing primal might from his Haxorus. They dismantled the sages one by one, their battles echoing through thorn-choked halls, reclaiming the stolen skull and shattering Plasma's illusions. This evolution marked Unova's gyms as more than trials. They became the region's immune system, antibodies against ideological plagues that sought to sever the sacred trainer Pokémon Pact. At the heart of this guardianship lies the Striaton City Gym, a deceptively quaint eatery where the air carries scents of sizzling herbs and fresh-baked pastries. Silan chili and cress, the inseparable trio, embody Unova's entry point, the basic badge, a simple bronze leaf that belies its profound weight. Earning it isn't just about besting one specialist. Challengers face a rotating gauntlet tailored to their own Pokémon's essence, a mirror reflecting strengths and frailties. This badge serves as an entry point into the region's complex philosophical debate, igniting questions that simmer throughout every journey. What does it mean to command a Pokémon's loyalty? Is true freedom found in wild solitude or in purposeful partnership? Team Plasma's rhetoric of release echoes these riddles, forcing every trainer to confront whether badges symbolize chains or bridges. As you collect the basic badge and venture forth, Unova unfolds like a living argument, Striaton's flavors giving way to Nakarini's dusty tomes, Castelia's crowded streets buzzing with moral quandaries, and Opelucid's ancient spires challenging you to choose between ideals and reality. The leaders watch, their failures forged into wisdom, ensuring that no skull, no relic, no fragile truth slips away again. And as Unova's guardians reclaimed their watch, a new enigma stirred in the luminous streets of Kalos, where the power of Mega Evolution would unravel mysteries tied to ancient stones and boundless potential. Up next, Chapter 27, Kalos and the Mega Evolution Mystery, as Unova's gym leaders honed their rapid response tactics against Team Plasma's castle assault. The winds of change carried trainers westward to Kalos, a region where gyms didn't just battle threats, they unlocked the very essence of evolution itself. In the heart of Shalor City stands a gym unlike any other, a vast skating rink where the air hums with the scrape of blades on ice and the raw power of fighting types honing their strikes. This is Karina's domain, the Shalor Gym, guardian of one of Kalos's most profound secrets, the mystery of Mega Evolution. Karina, with her rollerblades flashing like lightning and her Lucario at her side, isn't just any gym leader. She's the chosen successor, handpicked by her grandfather Gurkin to carry forward a lineage that traces back centuries. The Shalor Gym connects directly to the Tower of Mastery, a looming spire on a nearby island shrouded in mist and legend. Legends whisper that this tower cradles the origins of Mega Evolution, where ancient guardians first awakened stones that amplify a Pokemon's potential beyond natural limits. Picture the tower's shadowed halls, etched with runes that glow faintly under moonlight, housing relics tied to the Lucario bloodline. Stones that pulse with energy drawn from the deepest trainer Pokémon bonds. Korrina trains here not for glory, but to protect these secrets from those who might exploit them, ensuring the power remains in hands worthy of its trust. Her grandfather, the Elder Gurkin, watches from the tower's peak, his Mega Lucario a sentinel against any who approach without pure intent. Defeating Korrina earns you the Rumble Badge, a simple yet profound emblem that vibrates with latent energy. This badge isn't merely a trophy. It's a catalyst for the bond required for Mega Evolution. In Kalos's lore, earning it signifies a trainer's readiness to forge that unbreakable link. The kind where your heart syncs with your Pokemon's, awakening the keystone on your wrist and the Mega Stone on their body. Trainers who claim it often feel a subtle shift, as if the badge imprints a resonance, preparing them for the surge of power that turns Lucario into Mega Lucario, its aura flaring like a blue inferno. Without this foundation, Mega Evolution remains elusive, a fleeting dream amid the rinks and ruins of Shalor. Korrina herself demonstrates it in battle, her skates carving paths through the fog as her Lucario Mega evolves, shattering illusions and doubts with fists that echo the tower's ancient call. Yet Kalos's gym saga deepens with innovation and peril in Lumiose City, the glittering Prism Tower capital, where electric lights dance across boulevards like captured stars. Here, Clemont reigns over the Lumiose Gym, a technological marvel stacked high with gears, screens, and invention labs buzzing with potential. But this gym story turns chaotic with the Clembot incident, a malfunction that plunged the city into confusion. Clemont, ever the tinkerer, built Clembot, an AI robot, to manage the gym while he pursued his inventions. One fateful day, a programming glitch turned the bot rogue. It sealed the gym doors, demanding challengers present 4 badges before entry, trapping trainers in a loop of escalating tests. Sparks flew from overloaded circuits as Clembot's voice boomed demands, its mechanical arms deploying wild Pokémon in relentless waves. The city whispered of a haunted tower, lights flickering erratically as Clemont raced back, reprogramming his creation amid explosions and error codes. This wasn't mere mishap. It exposed vulnerabilities in Kalos's blend of ancient mystery and modern tech. Clemont fixed Clembot, restoring order, but the incident rippled outward, drawing Team Flare's eyes to Lumiose's power grid. The gym, with its voltage badge, became a beacon for electric synergy, mirroring how Mega Evolution harnesses raw bonds into amplified force. Clemont's glasses glint as he battles, his inventions whirring alongside Pokémon like Heliolisk, their energy arcing like the city's eternal glow. Together, Shalor and Lumiose embody Kalos's dual soul, the primal pulse of Mega Stones guarded by the Tower of Mastery, and the electric ingenuity that nearly unraveled it all. Deeper still, these gyms weave into Kalos's shadowed past, a war-torn history where weapons of ultimate destruction slumbered until unearthed. The Tower of Mastery's secrets tie to that era, its depths possibly concealing artifacts from the conflict, protected by Korrina's line to prevent recurrence. Shalor's Rink, built over sacred grounds, channels the fighting spirit needed to confront such legacies, while Lumiose's tech fortress innovates defenses against exploitation. Earning badges here doesn't just qualify you for the league. It awakens something primal, a harmony that Mega Evolution demands. Trainers who traverse Kalos feel this evolution in their veins, from the coastal mists of Shalor to Lumiose's neon haze. Korrina's challenges on ice test agility and resolve. A Mega Lucario, a blur of aura spikes and bone rush strikes. Clemont's puzzles demand wit sharp as a Magnemite spin. Is Clembot now a loyal ally post-reboot? The Rumble Badge hums in your case, urging deeper bonds, while Voltage sparks ideas of boundless potential. These gyms guard not just types, but the fragile balance between human ambition and Pokémon transcendence. As Kalos's mysteries unfold, From successor oaths in misty towers to rogue robots in electric spires, they hint at horizons yet to come. Join me next for Chapter 28, where we'll uncover how these ancient guardians are evolving into something entirely new. Don't miss the revelations that could redefine the Pokémon world forever. As the Clembot circuits finally stabilized in Lumio City, humming back to life under Clement's careful reprogramming, a subtle shift rippled through the Pokémon League's foundations. Gym leaders across Kalos whispered about the risks of automation overriding human intuition, those irreplaceable bonds between trainer and Pokémon that had held back Mega Evolution's wilder impulses at the Tower of Mastery. What if the next evolution of the gym system leaned too far into spectacle, turning sacred trials into something far more public? In Galar, that question found its boldest answer. The region unveiled a radical reinvention. The gym challenge transformed into a nationwide stadium extravaganza, where massive colosseums rose like ancient Roman arenas, fused with cutting-edge holograms. No longer tucked away in quiet towns or volcanic craters, battles exploded onto grand stages under roaring crowds, floodlights piercing the misty British-inspired skies. Gym leaders like Bia in Stow-on-Side or Raihan in Hammerlock didn't just test challengers. They performed their Pokémon Dynamaxing into towering behemoths that shook the earth, drawing millions of viewers to live broadcasts. This was the commercialization of gym battles at its peak. Badges earned not in shadowed dojos, but amid thunderous applause, sponsorships from energy drink brands flashing on jumbotrons, and league officials tallying tickets as the fun-filled regional defences. Yet beneath the glamour, the protective core endured. Leon, the undefeated champion, strode those stadiums not as a celebrity, but as a sentinel. His Charizard's flames a reminder that these spectacles masked deeper vigilantism. When Eternatus threatened to unravel Galar's fragile peace, the leaders sealed themselves in Winden Stadium, their commercialized arena becoming a fortress against dark energy. The crowds fell silent as Bia pummeled foes with martial precision, her fighting types guarding the very crowds that cheered her. Raihan's sandstorms whipped through Hammerlock, shielding the stadium's underbelly from invading forces. Commercialization brought visibility, yes, but it amplified their role. Now the world watched as gym leaders stood firm, their battles broadcast as both entertainment and eternal warning. This stadium model spread whispers of change across the seas, challenging traditions from Kanto's rugged roots to Kalos's elegant spires. Could every gym become a spectacle? Badges minted like merchandise, but Paldea offered a counterpoint, a return to something rawer, more intimate. Here, the gym system fractured and reformed around the path of legends, a pilgrimage not of badges, but of titanic confrontations. Challengers didn't chase 8 stamps of approval. They hunted the Herba Mystica, ancient herbs scattered across misty highlands and sun-baked coasts, guarded by Pokémon titans, swollen to monstrous sizes by forgotten paradoxes from Area Zero. Imagine scaling the craggy cliffs of West Province, where Cliff Blaster the Clawf scuttles like a living landslide, its claws cracking boulders as you prove your worth through sheer survival. Or delving into the foggy glens of East Province, facing Bombardier the bomber bird, its explosive dives testing your evasion amid the thunder of wings. These weren't structured battles in tiled arenas. They were community-driven trials, woven into Paldea's vibrant tapestry of festivals and folklore. Gym leaders like Larry and Medali, a weary salaryman by day, hosted understated contests in a cafe overlook, where everyday trainers gathered under lantern light to share stories of titan hunts. Iono in Levincia streamed her electric mayhem from a neon-lit tower, but her challenges drew local kids and elders alike, turning the gym into a neighborhood hub, pulsing with laughter and sparks. Nimona, the ever-enthusiastic rival turned champion, embodied this shift, her battles spontaneous, born from schoolyard rivalries rather than rigid ladders. The path of legends stripped away the pomp, revealing gyms as organic extensions of Paldean life. Grusha patrolling Glaciado Mountain's icy trails, his snowscape summons warding off avalanches that echoed ancient terrestrial upheavals. Rhyme in Montenevera channeling ghostly raps in a theatre alive with spectral applause. Her community performances honouring lost souls from the region's veiled history. Even the Elite Four adapted, their trials feeling like village gatherings elevated by personal stakes. This return to community-driven trials breathed new life into the system, reminding challengers that strength blooms not from spotlights, but from bonds forged in the dirt and rain of everyday adventures. As Galar's stadium roars faded into Paldea's whispering winds, a timeless truth crystallized. Gym leaders, through every reinvention, from Kanto's underground sentinels to Unova's rapid response squads, have always been the eternal thin blue line between peace and chaos. They stand at the edges, rock at Pewter's fossil-veined thresholds, holding back earthen rages. Morty and Ecruteak's shadowed dance halls, appeasing spirits scarred by tower flames. Karina on Shalor's mastery steps, taming mega surges that could shatter cities. Commercialized or communal, technological or primal, they guard the fragile harmony. Their badges not mere trophies but oaths against the rifts. The teams, the legendaries stirring in the deep. In Galar's packed arenas, that line held against cosmic poison. In Paldea's wild paths, it wove through titan roars and terrestrial glows. And so it persists. A quiet bulwark ensuring the Pokémon world sleeps soundly tonight, just as you might now. Thank you for journeying through this secret history with me. The gym's story endures, ever vigilant. If these tales have lulled you toward dreams, drop a comment on which leader's watch inspired your favourite night. Rest well. What did you think of this journey? I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. If this changed your perspective or taught you something new, consider subscribing for more mind-expanding content. And if you know someone who would find this as fascinating as you did, share it with them. These are the kind of conversations that matter.